Chapter 55. While some people objected, others naturally supported it. As more and more people replied to the post, a few outliers emerged. Abstinent Best Actor vs Beautiful Vase. Isn't this the standard image of a sweet cookie in the entertainment industry? As long as the two of them are in the same frame, it'll look like an idol drama with a soft light filter. I love this pair. With all due respect, I spent the weekend watching live streams at home. Xiangyi can cook and play the sanxian. She's beautiful and has a good personality. How is she not good enough for Shui? More and more fans came down one after another, tearing each other apart as the post went viral. It was even uploaded to Weibo by marketing accounts. Because of the hashtag Shui hashtag, the Shui sisters were infuriated when they saw this post. Even if you want to create hype, you have to follow the basic rules, okay? If a top celebrity wanted to create hype, it could be glorified as marketing. However, the vase fairy was just a D-list celebrity. What right did she have to ride on Shui's coattails? Most of the Shui sisters were more mature and urged everyone to stay calm and not look at the vase fairy. However, there were also some agitated fans who ran to Xiangyi's Weibo to flame her passionately. Do you think you're worthy of being a CP? F***CK, what do you mean by standing aloof from worldly affairs? If you don't fight, why don't you just quit the show? Two under one roof would look better without you. Our brother has actual achievements, box office, awards, luxury endorsements, and the cover of the 4 major magazines. What do you have? Cooking? What a joke. How many female seniors have shed tears, sweat, and blood in exchange for a day when men and women are equal? What about you? You want women to return to the kitchen to help their husbands and children? Can a woman's value only be reflected by cooking? The netizens were enjoying the drama and lamenting. Shui isn't a top celebrity, but his fans are fiercer than the top celebrities. The vase fairy is probably going to shut herself out from the criticism this time. Maybe we won't be able to see her on the live stream tomorrow. Someone posted, speaking of which, isn't the vase fairy going to make fried milk tomorrow morning? I want to see if it's delicious. This sentence resonated with many people. Actually, the vase fairy wouldn't be so annoying if she just cooked and didn't cause trouble. At this point, Xiangyi was equivalent to the chef in Two Under One Roof, in the minds of the majority of netizens. While the scolding war was in full swing, a well-known music critic in the country suddenly posted on Weibo. E.g. Grey Turtle de V. I haven't posted in a while. Many fans and friends are very concerned about my recent situation. I'll explain it here. A few days ago my father was ill. Even after visiting all the famous doctors, there was still no way to save him. Now, I'm afraid he doesn't have much time left. He was a sanxian teacher at a music academy in China. In recent years, fewer and fewer children were learning traditional music, and even fewer were learning sanxian. Even when he was seriously ill, he still racked his brains, fearing that he would not be able to teach the last few disciples well. He was even more afraid that there would be no successor for this traditional skill. Today he happened to hear Miss Xiangyi V's sanxian performance. He had been tortured by his illness for the past few days, and his mood had become increasingly irritable. He, who no longer had the will to live, listened to it calmly. He even asked me to replay it for him many times. He commented, "Pearls fall on a jade plate, strings whisper like whispers, listening to the wind and rain at night, iron horses and ice rivers come. I spent 1,000 days learning the pipa, 100 days learning the zither, and half a lifetime learning the sanxian. I spent half a lifetime honing my skills, but I can't even compare to a young girl. It's lamentable, sad, but also gratifying. Congratulations. There's a successor for the sanxian, and there's hope for the future of traditional music." Just now, he agreed to undergo Western medicine chemotherapy. I'm full of emotions, but I don't know where to start. I'd like to express my gratitude to Miss Xiangyi. As soon as this Weibo post was posted, the Shui sisters, who were still scolding her, fell silent. Chapter 56. Some people were indignant and thought that the blogger was just trying to ride on the hype, but when they clicked on his profile page they were dumbfounded. He had millions of fans and was extremely loyal to his fans, with tens of thousands of comments. Although he was an internet celebrity, the annual awards for Best Music and Best Live Performance had a huge impact. His real name was Ban Hui and he was an honorary professor at a prestigious school. He had even given public lectures at world-class music schools. In layman's terms, this gray turtle dove was a big shot. He was a big shot in the music industry. The comments section immediately became lively. Ha, a bunch of ignorant newbies. Did Teacher Ban's resume scare you? I suggest you search for Teacher Ban's father, Ban Jean. There's a surprise for you. I'm shocked. So this big shot is personally backing up Vase Fairy? Most of the Shursui sisters sensibly remained silent, but there was a small group of people who were too prejudiced against Xiangyi and refused to believe or acknowledge Xiangyi's excellence. Her account must have been hacked. Do you really believe it? Interesting. She just picked up an instrument and played it a few times, and she's already bragging about it. How much money did Vase Fairy spend? I really don't think she's that good at playing. Although I don't know much about it, I think she's quite an amateur, she just plays a little too fast. I don't know much about 3-string or 4-string instruments. What's so great about folk music? If it's really that good, why do all the children go to learn the piano and violin? These comments were nothing compared to the level of arguments between fans. At least, they didn't ask about Xiangyi's mother. However, something unexpected happened. Grey Turtledove replied with more than a dozen comments. Her account wasn't hacked. Not a single cent was confiscated. Art is a skill. But it's only about skill, not art. Miss Xiangyi's performance is smooth and natural. I think it's already at the level of art. It's one's freedom to learn Western instruments or folk instruments, but since you can recognize the excellence of Western instruments, why is it so difficult to admit that folk music is excellent? Immediately afterwards, the granddaughter of the famous 3-string performance artist, Old G, also reposted on Weibo. My grandma asked me to ask if big sister Xiangyi V is interested in quitting the entertainment industry and coming to our school to be a music teacher. The pay will be good. The netizens who were on the front line of watching the drama quickly went to check the information. Although the Folk Music Academy under Old G's name wasn't big, it was the academy that folk music students in the country yearned for the most. The netizens gasped. After that, a certain Eru performing artist reposted a Weibo post to poach her. Young lady, I think you're good at Sanxian. Why don't you learn the Eru from me? Netizens, take another sip. A Swana master reposted the post and teased. You might as well learn to play the Swana from me. If you can play it from the full moon to the 7th day of the lunar month, you won't have to worry about losing your job. The netizens, F***, I'm laughing so hard. After that, the official Weibo account of the Chinese Ethnic Music Association reposted the Weibo post with a stamp of praise. The young man is promising and there is hope for his legacy. Today the young man of China has a heart as bright as the sun. It would not be an exaggeration to say that the entire folk music industry was shaken by this display. The netizens? Did we misunderstand the Vase Fairy? Her real purpose for entering the entertainment industry was actually to help the national team players go to the countryside to help the poor? 1,000 words, 1,000 words, 1,000 words, 1,000 words, 1,000 words, 1,000 words. In the end it all came down to one sentence. F***ck awesome. Chapter 57. The next day. At 7:30 a.m., Li Jinyu rubbed his sleepy eyes and had a morning meeting with the production crew in the garden to discuss today's arrangements. They thought that they had woken up early enough, only to find that Xiangyi had appeared in front of them. Li Jinyu greeted her in a friendly manner. Good morning, teacher Xiangyi. Are you going to train? Xiangyi gave him a strange look and said politely, Good morning. I'm done with my morning exercise. Everyone was speechless. Li Jinyu said, Running? We can do it together next time. I can run 5 kilometers too. As a director, the most important thing was his health. He also liked photography and it took a lot of strength to carry a heavy machine for an hour or two without moving. Xiangyi said, No, Tai Chi, I practice swordsmanship occasionally. Everyone was speechless. Is it the kind of Tai Chi and swordsmanship that old people in parks practice? Li Jinyu laughed dryly. Teacher Xiangyi, you're really in good health. Xiangyi asked, Are you hungry? Breakfast is ready. I made breakfast for you guys. Xiangyi looked at the time on her sports wristband. It's about time. The number of people is still the same as yesterday, right? There's enough food. Everyone was a little flattered and said politely, Teacher Xiangyi, you have to do a live broadcast during the day and cook for us too. That's too tiring. It's not tiring at all. The girl's tone was indifferent. It's just convenient. If you like it, eat more. If there's anything you want to eat, you can tell me in advance. She enjoyed the state of being fully immersed in cooking and her heart would calm down. It might be tiring for others, but for her, it was a hobby and she could also exercise. Why not? 5 minutes later. The crew of 2 under one roof ate breakfast in a daze. There was red bean and black rice porridge, fresh meat buns, vegetarian buns and side dishes. There was also a pile of delicately wrapped wontons. If they wanted to eat, they could just cook it themselves. Paired with some seaweed and shrimps, it was so delicious that their tongues were about to fall off. No one spoke during the meal. They were all wolfing down such delicious food. Who would care about talking? After a while, burps could be heard one after another. Everyone looked at each other awkwardly. Cough, I'll go wash the dishes. Then I'll go help teacher Xiangyi sweep the floor. I'm going to clean the kitchen. Throw away the trash while you're at it. The corner of Li Jianyu's mouth twitched as he listened. None of you were so enthusiastic about work, and now you're all fighting for the job. You only know how to eat. Useless. Well, I'll eat another bowl of wontons, just one bowl. There was really only one bowl. Two Under One Roof's official Weibo account announced that the live stream would officially begin at 9:00 p.m. When the production team of Heartbeat saw this news, they were stunned and brought forward the originally scheduled time. We'll start at 8:30. Director Chen's eyes were sinister. No matter what, we're going to beat Two Under One Roof today. Wasn't it just cooking? Is Qin Wanyan ready? Good night. Chapter 58. Teacher Qin is ready. She'll make egg and ham sandwiches and hand-brewed coffee later. The assistant's tone was careful and flattering. This is a menu that has been finalized after repeated research. The image is very exquisite, definitely more advanced than Xiangyi's stir-fry and earth pot stew. Director Chen's expression softened and he sneered. Li Jianyu is just a country bumpkin. He didn't grasp the main point of the netizens at all. If you want to see someone cook, you might as well watch a food show. What everyone wants to see are celebrities. He made it look like a farmhouse. Such a waste of such a good venue. Pigs really can't eat fine chaff. Yes, you're right, Director Chen. 8:30 a.m. Muyao TV was good at marketing and they had hired all sorts of celebrities. Their fans were all waiting. As soon as the time was up, all the live stream rooms were filled with people who began to control the comments. Protecting the best in the world, Jiang Qin. Woolly, immortal Qin, let's go. It must have been hard for you to land in the mortal world today. I'm the Crown Princess. I recommend Fu Jian's Royal Road. The Crown Prince is so good. Everyone please get to know the salty and sweet gymnast, Yu Miao Miao. The four celebrities greeted everyone briefly. The handsome men and beautiful women were all online. Coupled with Muyao TV's excellent equipment and lighting, the live stream was particularly high definition and the audio was very clear. It was a feast for the eyes and ears. The fans were so excited that they began to tip them wildly. 5 minutes into the broadcast, Jiang Chen's personal live stream room was ranked first in terms of the number of people online and the amount of heartbeat points contributed by fans. He was followed by Fu Jiyan, Qin Wanyan and Yu Miao Miao. Then Qin Wanyan asked if everyone had eaten breakfast. The other three said they hadn't. Qin Wanyan looked at the camera and brushed her hair. She smiled gently and said, "Then I'll make something for everyone to eat." The live comments. Wow, our immortal Qin can cook. Although the kitchen of Heartbeat was not as professional as that of Two Under One Roof, it was spacious and bright. The simple modern design made it look very classy. Qin Wanyan could indeed cook. Her ancestors were imperial chefs, and her uncle even opened a famous chain of gourmet restaurants in the country. She had studied abroad since she was a child and had gradually gotten used to Western food. She didn't know how to cook Chinese food, but she was good at Western food. The eggs and ham were fried in a delicate, retro pan, and the toast was baked in a toaster. Then a thick layer of tomato sauce was placed on top of the toaster. Then the vegetables, eggs and ham were added, and an egg and ham sandwich was ready. Then Qin Wanyan slowly brewed a cup of coffee. She ground the coffee beans into powder and placed it on a filter paper. Her fair and slender fingers picked up the flask and poured water into it. The scene was elegant and noble. Qin Wanyan gently taught everyone how to make coffee. The coffee powder must be ground to a uniform thickness. Also, according to the characteristics of the different coffee beans, the water temperature must be adjusted accordingly. Generally, it should be controlled at 85 to 95 degrees Celsius. The fans in the live broadcast room were enjoying it. They felt that their idols were interacting with them as if they were participating in it. Immortal Qin is too gentle. Smart, skillful and patient. The sandwiches and coffee are so beautifully made. You'll definitely look great if you take a picture and post it on your WeChat moments. Didn't the short video of the vase fairy cooking go viral yesterday? I clicked on it and felt that her cooking skills were alright. It's just that she's too cold. How can she compare to our immortal Qin? However, the passers-by and netizens in the main live stream room slowly typed a question mark. It's beautiful, but are you sure it's delicious? Chapter 59. I think I'd rather eat a hamburger from a certain Kaifeng dish than eat that sandwich. Is she trying to compare herself to the vase fairy? There's a saying that although the vase fairy is annoying, her cooking is still quite appetizing. This Qin Wanyan's cooking is. Director Chen was staring at his phone all the time. When he saw the comments from the netizens, he simply couldn't understand. In particular, someone posted, "Two under one roof is starting to fry milk. Friends, I'll take my leave first." Whoosh. The number of viewers in the live stream began to decrease visibly. Director Chen's eyes widened in disbelief. How could this be? He clicked on Two Under One Roof's live stream. The live stream had just begun, but the number of viewers was no less than that of Heartbeat. Director Chen's heart skipped a beat. He seemed to have underestimated the popularity of Two Under One Roof. The milk cake had been prepared by Xiangyi in advance. It was mixed with corn flour, fresh milk, salt, and sugar to taste. After simmering, it was placed in the refrigerator to be frozen. The girl was still barefaced. Her expression was calm and her temperament was calm, as if no noise in the world could affect her focus on the ingredients in front of her. The tender white and delicate milk cake was dipped in flour, baking powder, MSG and other crispy paste, forming a perfect parabola as it fell into the pan of oil and swam happily. Xiangyi's movements were swift, and it didn't take long for the pot to be ready. After scooping it out, she sprinkled some white sugar on it. Li Jinyu picked one up and the cameraman, old Li, knowingly gave it a close-up. The surface of the milk cake was a light golden yellow, fragrant and delicate. With a click, he broke it open. The custard in the core was soft and tender, and when he pinched the crispy outside, the custard inside would shake gently and become bouncy. The comments in the live stream, "I want to eat it. I can smell the aroma through the screen. The cake is so cute, how can you pinch it? Just one plate? As a milk lover, I feel like I can eat a whole basin of it alone." After washing up, the first thing Yan Nai did was to go to the kitchen. The young man's hair had been messed up all night and had become a bird's nest. He leaned over to Xiangyi. "Sis, is it done?" Xiangyi blocked the camera for him. Children with messy hair can't eat breakfast. In yesterday's chat, Director Yan's words revealed that he wanted Yan Nai to enter the entertainment industry. She didn't care, but her beautiful brother still had to pay attention to his image in front of the camera. She didn't want someone to take an ugly photo of him and use it against him. Yan Nai froze for a moment, then shyly scratched his head. I don't know how to do my hair. Yesterday, it was the brother from the barbershop downstairs who helped me blow-dry it." Xiangyi thought for a moment. "Go look for Anan. He's quite good at doing hair." "Oh, okay. Wait a minute." "Huh?" Yan Nai turned around. His mouth was suddenly stuffed with fried milk, accompanied by the girl's gentle coaxing. Obedient children will be rewarded. Xiu xiu, Yan Nai even forgot to chew. The redness spread from the tip of his ears all the way to his neck. "She fed me, does she, like me?" The young man blushed and his heart raced because of his imagination. He ran out of the kitchen and bumped into a slender figure. It was Shui. The man had changed into a casual sports outfit today. He was wearing a white hoodie and blue jeans, looking fresh and clean like a student. "Watch where you're going," he reminded. Yan Nai looked around. Seeing that there were no cameramen, he carefully and happily said, "Uncle, big sister is feeding me." Chapter 60. The handsome man's expression didn't change as he raised his eyebrows. His peach blossom eyes seemed to be smiling, making him look like a sly old fox. "Is it delicious?" The innocent young boy said shyly. "I ate it too quickly and swallowed it before I tasted it." Sui's maturity and calmness made him subconsciously feel that he was someone worth trusting and confiding in. "I think my sister is so gentle. She blocked the camera for me and even let me go to her manager to get my hair done." Shui smiled and patted his head. Yan Nai smiled foolishly. "Uncle, you're very gentle too." Shui smiled kindly. "Uncle? Do I look old?" "Tisk, you're already an uncle at the age of 27. Next year you'll be called grandpa." Shui sighed. Yan Nai quickly waved his hand. No, uncle, you're not old at all." No, brother. Brother Shui. A certain fox didn't feel guilty at all for tricking a child and said gently, "Go get your hair done. Make it more handsome so you'll look better on camera." "Okay, thank you, uncle." "Brother." Yan Nai wasn't sure if it was an illusion, but he felt that after he called him brother, Shui's gaze inexplicably became much kinder. Shui entered the kitchen and the camera immediately pointed at him. The man had a good sense of the camera and smiled slightly. "Good morning." The comments section of the live stream instantly exploded. "Good morning, brother." "Good morning, hubby." "Those who call him hubby, please have some self-respect. This is my man, okay?" Doghead, Xiangyi looked back and met the man's gaze. Good morning. Shi Sui's smile deepened. Morning. Shi Sui walked over with his long legs. Do you need help? No, the food is ready. There's fried milk, fresh meat, wontons, and vegetables. I'm going to squeeze some juice for the child. Senior, what would you like to drink? Shi Sui helped her put the breakfast on a wooden tray. He was familiar with it and didn't put on airs at all. Can I still order without a little red flour? Xiangyi was slightly startled. Only then did she remember what she had said to Shi Sui yesterday. Collect 5 flowers and you can order dishes. She chuckled. She didn't expect Shi Sui to take her words seriously. Senior can have special privileges. Shi Sui, coffee then? Xiangyi nodded. Okay, I'll squeeze the juice first. Shi Sui lowered her eyelids and took the initiative to serve breakfast. Squeeze some juice for Yan Nai first. He said that he had special privileges, but the priority was given to someone else. He was very unhappy. In the Heartbeat livestream room, Qin Wanyin finished making breakfast. The live broadcast room was filled with question marks, because she had only made one sandwich. What's going on? Don't tell me the 4 adults are only eating this one piece? The 4 of them each cut a piece and drank a small cup of coffee before finishing their breakfast. Yu Miao Miao only ate 2/3 of her piece before putting it down. She said apologetically, I'm going to start filming soon. The director told me to lose weight. Although she was a gymnast, Yu Miao Miao was already semi-retired. Currently, her main focus was on the entertainment industry. Jiang Chen had a cold personality, but he was very diligent. After eating, he took the initiative to wash the dishes. Fu Jiayin was a better person. He praised Qin Wanyin's breakfast to the skies. Wanyin's cooking is amazing. As expected of someone who studied abroad. It feels like we're on vacation by the Seine River. The live comments, is this the true appetite of a celebrity? Let's not talk about the female celebrity, but 2 grown men eat this much for breakfast? Extra. It's time to eat next door. There's fried milk, juice, and the wontons are filled with fresh meat. Asterisk recommended tickets and arranged to go to Liao. There's one more update. It'll be late, so I'll say goodnight in advance. Chapter 61. All of a sudden, the netizens in Heartbeat Bar's livestream began to waver. On one side was a bland and tasteless sandwich, on the other side was a crispy and golden fried milk. On one side was a bitter black coffee, on the other was a sweet and refreshing new fruit juice. F***CK. Only children could choose. Of course, adults would choose to watch it on their phones and tablets. Countless netizens happily made their decisions. In 2 Under One Roof's livestream, the fried milk was crispy on the outside and fragrant on the inside. It was crunchy on the inside and melted in the next second. It had a numbing and beautiful texture. He finished one in 2 or 3 bites. If he had eaten too much, he could use his chopsticks to get rid of the grease. The steaming wontons were round and the soup base was chicken soup. The oil was skimmed off and a small handful of shrimp skin and seaweed were sprinkled on top. It was extremely delicious. The fruit juice was the simplest orange juice with a little honey seasoning. Served in a transparent glass, it was beautiful and delicious. Even though he repeatedly told himself not to eat too much for breakfast, Yan Zhenhua still ate until he was full. With a full stomach, he began to fantasize about the beautiful scene after Xiangyi married Yan Nai. TSK, I probably won't be able to lose weight in the future. Yan Nai couldn't stop eating either. The young boy ate 2 full bowls of wontons and the tip of his nose was sweating. The live comments, this is what I call eating. It smells so good. I feel like Miss Xiangyi's culinary skills don't need to be praised at all. Look at Director Yan and her brother's bowls, they're so clean. 23333. Why isn't Shengdi eating? Is it not to his liking? Shi Sui doesn't like to eat breakfast. It's an old problem. If he eats too much, he'll feel nauseous. His fans have been heartbroken for many years. Someone also complained, isn't the vase fairy going to make coffee? Qin Wanyin made hand-brewed coffee. She's not going to make instant coffee to send Shengdi away, is she? As soon as this comment floated past, the camera in the main livestream cut to the villa. The room was slightly smaller than the kitchen, but it had a water heater, coffee machine, bean grinder, refrigerator, and other equipment. F***CK? So professional? Hee, does the vase fairy know how to use such high-end equipment? Can she afford to pay for it? Xiang Yi's expression was calm as she calmly ground the coffee beans. Then she poured the coffee powder into the silver handle of the machine and extracted the brown coffee liquid. Qin Wanyin's fans, who had rushed over after hearing the news, were dumbfounded. Why the F***CK are their professional machines? Substituting a King of Glory to play a bronze game would result in a ban. A fan said stubbornly, our goddess Qin did it by hand. That's real skill. The vase fairy did it automatically with a machine. How can they be compared? Who knows whose face hurts the most? Just as the bullet screen floated past, Xiangyi began to pump milk. She easily used the steam tube to make the milk bubbles, and the girl poured the milk bubbles into the coffee cup with her slender white hands. She shook her wrist up and down, and in the blink of an eye, she turned into a lifelike kitten. All the netizens. It feels like she's just casually pulling flowers? You call that an amateur? Go to a coffee shop and see if someone can pull it out for you. You'll know. Hey I'll return this to a certain fan. Is there even a comparison? Who knows whose face hurts the most? Qin Wanyan's fans suddenly felt a burning pain in their faces. Good night world. Chapter 62. Xiangyi was a clean and efficient worker, and she soon made a few cups of coffee. Espresso, iced Americano, caramel macchiato. None of them seemed to be a problem for her. Li Jinyu reacted and asked, Teacher Xiangyi, did you get a barista license? I heard it's quite difficult. It requires theoretical knowledge and practical operation. Xiangyi looked at the camera innocently. The live comments, I suspect the vase fairy's gaze is trying to say, do you even need to learn? However, the girl's tone was very gentle and polite. No, I just learned from someone else. My level should be very average. The live comments? By the way, if you staff want to drink coffee, you can come in and make it yourself. If you don't know how to use this semi-automatic coffee machine, there's a capsule coffee machine over there. Put the capsule in and it will automatically extract the coffee. Li Jinyu pretended to be polite. No, Teacher Xiangyi, you're too polite. It's nothing, these machines at home might malfunction if they're not used for a long time. Xiangyi didn't like coffee even if it was laced with milk and sugar. Back then she had bought these machines for her brothers. Thinking of her family, Xiangyi's gaze softened. However, the live comments began to tremble again. The vase fairy can't take the compliments. Her pretentiousness is too low level. Don't speak, pretty girl. Open your mouth, brainless vase. I suggest the production team not to give Xiangyi a microphone. Can't they just shut her up the entire time? The coffee machine is from Coffee, an international brand. This retro red one is a limited edition, and the second-hand price is more than 80,000 yuan. The rest of the equipment in this room adds up to at least 300,000 yuan. I reluctantly believe that this equipment belongs to your family, but do you have to bring all these things here just to film a variety show? What a joke. Xiangyi brought 3 cups of coffee over. Shi Sui chose the espresso and raised his eyebrows slightly after taking a sip. He then took a few more sips, obviously to his taste. Yan Zhenhua casually tasted the iced Americano and praised, the beans are not bad. Little Xiangyi, you're quite picky. Yan Nai looked at the remaining cup of coffee on the table and then looked at Xiangyi. He wasn't sure if this was for him or if Xiangyi had made it for him. The little boy's eyes were moist, and his hair had been blown soft by Anan. He looked a little like a Shota from a manga. Xiangyi was more patient with children than other people. She said softly, this is for you. I added more caramel so it shouldn't be bitter. Yan Nai's eyes lit up. He picked up the coffee cup and saw that it was Coco the tabby cat. He couldn't help but show off to Shi Sui. Brother, look, I have a kitten inside. Shi Sui paused in his action of drinking his coffee. Not angry. It wasn't worth it. I don't care. Xiangyi was just taking care of him like a child. Meow. Xiao Naofu, who was chasing butterflies in the garden, jumped into Xiangyi's arms. The girl rubbed the back of its neck. Xiao Naofu squinted its eyes comfortably and purred delicately. Yan Zhenhua said, why isn't this cat eating the cat food? I saw that it didn't even touch the food in the bowl. It may be a little picky. I'm going to make it tuna and pumpkin cat rice. After Xiangyi finished speaking, she couldn't help but kiss Xiao Naofu on the forehead. Xiao Naofu. Its eyes widened, and there was only one thought in its mind. This hoo-hoo is not clean anymore. On the other hand, Shi Sui's gaze suddenly became a little strange. The little girl said that she treated him like a kitten? Chapter 63. Xiangyi, who had successfully attracted the cat, revealed a satisfied expression. The corners of her mouth curled up slightly, and her eyes were bright as if they were filled with stars. My sister's face is perfect. Who doesn't love her? I suddenly feel like the term vase fairy isn't derogatory. Yan Nai, who was watching from the side, was already stunned. The wind blew past the vine roses that had climbed onto the pavilion, and the petals slowly fell, like a slow-motion scene in a movie. The girl's temperament was calm when she wasn't smiling, but when she smiled, she was radiant and full of vitality. Her side profile was exquisite, and her nose and cherry lips were as bright as a flower. Yan Nai's heart pounded as he watched, and the tips of his ears turned red. Yan Zhenhua revealed a gratified smile like an old father and assisted, "Little Xiangyi, we're leaving at noon. See if there's anything you need to do. Don't stand on ceremony, just order Anai around." Yan Nai immediately straightened his back, sitting more upright than a primary school student in class. Director Yan and Anai both like spicy food. "Why don't we make some chili oil to take away?" Xiangyi suggested. Yan Zhenhua agreed repeatedly, feeling more and more satisfied with Xiangyi. She was able to give him a gift that he liked. What a good girl. He couldn't let other stinky men take advantage of her. "Xiangyi, I have several kinds of chili at home. Pick some of them separately. The chili oil made from them will taste better." The live comments. "Here we go again. I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to give up on this variety show. I'm going to watch Jiang Chen, Qin Wanyan, Fu Jian, and Yu Miao Miao fall in love. The vase fairy is so disgusting. How much acting skills does Shuringdi have to put in to resist his disdain and disdain for the vase fairy? Director, are you really not going to consider replacing her? Who are you trying to disgust by letting such a celebrity stay on the show? What do you take Shuringdi for? You can be his partner just because he's paid?" The comments section was in a heated argument. A staff member handed Li Jianyu his phone. Li Jianyu's head started to hurt as he struggled with how to explain himself. Suddenly, a simple and honest man's voice came from afar. "Miss Yi, I'm here to deliver the ingredients." Xiangyi pinched Xiao Naofu's meaty claws and said softly, "Your fish is here. Let's go get it together?" Xiao Naofu, who had tasted Xiangyi's cooking, meowed in what it thought was a reserved manner. Xiangyi stood up and carried Xiao Naofu out of the pavilion. The man who delivered the ingredients strode directly to her. His skin was dark, and his hair was the most ordinary crew cut. He wore an old blue work uniform with the words, "Little Rabbit Farm," printed on his chest. In his hands was a bamboo basket and an incubator. Bullet comments, "Little Rabbit Farm? That awesome Little Rabbit Farm that sells strawberries by the stalk and sells them for more than 10 yuan each? Missy, here are the tuna and pumpkin you asked for. I've also prepared some salted duck eggs and century eggs for you. The milk is also freshly squeezed. Thank you for your hard work, Uncle Wang. It's no trouble at all. It's my honor to be of service to Miss E," the man said with a silly smile. "Don't bother, I'll help you put it in the kitchen." Someone arranged by the program team? Isn't he a little too attentive? Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Why does this person look so much like the boss of Little Rabbit Farm? Just came back from a certain online encyclopedia. Wang Xuanli, male, 41 years old, general manager of Little Rabbit Farm, a well-known farmer and entrepreneur. He was once awarded the Outstanding Citizen Medal by the mayor of Nanqing. Why is such a big shot sucking up to the vase fairy? Chapter 64. I have an unrealistic idea. Could this house really be Xiangyi's home? Are you a fan of the vase fairy? If you know it's unrealistic, don't say it out loud, okay? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Ayaya, the water army may be late, but they definitely won't be absent. How much does the vase fairy pay you for each comment? If there's money, let's make it together. The comments in the live stream were all sarcastic towards Xiangyi. Wang Xuanli put the ingredients away, and before he left, he even took away the garbage in the house. "Thank you, Uncle Wang." Xiangyi thanked him. Wang Xuanli scratched his head and said, "What's there to thank me for? It was just on the way. If you want to thank someone, I should be the one thanking you. If it weren't for you, how could us uncouth men who only know how to pick up dirt in the fields be able to live such a good life now?" He suddenly slapped his forehead. "Look at my memory, I forgot about the gifts I prepared for everyone." He took out something that looked like a remote control and pressed it twice. 6 round robots drove in from the direction of the gate, each pulling a small cart with several foam boxes stacked on top of it. Wang Xuanli said, "Missy, I heard that you're doing a live stream. The new youngster at our farm said that we have to give gifts to our fans during live streams. We can't let you lose face, so we prepared these for you." He casually opened a box, which was filled with boxes of fresh strawberries. The strawberries were bright red and each one was half the size of a palm. He then opened another box, which contained vacuum-packed spicy rabbit heads. Each bag weighed 2 caddies, which was large and affordable. There were also handmade beef balls, egg yolk crisps, and various other specialties from Little Rabbit Farm. The netizens in the live stream went into a frenzy. Giving away strawberries that cost 12 yuan each? I remember that spicy rabbit head is limited to 50 servings per week. It's already sold for a few hundred yuan on the black market. This bag is too big. I'm about to pass out. Handmade beef balls are my favorite. Boo-hoo, other people's beef balls aren't as delicious as the ones from Little Rabbit Farm. It's fine if it's expensive, but I can still buy it if it's limited. Xiangyi glanced at it and nodded slightly. Okay, I'll give you these then. She then looked at Li Jinyu with an innocent gaze. How should I give them? Lucky draw? Li Jinyu was also dumbfounded. Was the world of the nouveau riche so simple? Li Jinyu was stunned for a long time. It was only when the photographer next to him, old Li, kicked him that he came to his senses. He cleared his throat and said, "Then I'll take it to the official Weibo account to repost it for the lucky draw." Wang Xuanli stared at Xiangyi and opened his mouth, but no sound came out. He seemed to have something to say. Xiangyi asked, "Uncle Wang, what's wrong?" Wang Xuanli couldn't help but speak his mind. "Miss Yi, I heard that you don't earn much in the entertainment industry. When will you have enough fun and come back to inherit Little Rabbit Farm?" Bullet scream? "Also, I saw the netizens gossiping about you, but this is clearly your home," Wang Xuanli said angrily. "I feel wronged for you." Bullet scream? "What did you say? Little Rabbit Farm belonged to the Vase Fairy? This mansion also belonged to the Vase Fairy?" Good night. A total of 9,500 recommendation votes. Chapter 65. The netizens were so shocked they couldn't speak. Especially Xiangyi's anti-fans who had been scolding her for being uncultured and clueless for so long. In the end, the home she was talking about was really her home. After a few seconds of silence. "May I ask, what the hell is Little Rabbit Farm?" "I'm from Nanqing and I'm here to explain. Little Rabbit Farm is the pride of Nanqing. The farm used to be a wasteland and the farmers nearby were very poor. Later, a big boss invested in high-tech farming, such as cultivating high-quality seeds, introducing automatic seeding machines and harvesters, and using robots to pick up goods from the warehouse. The total output isn't high, but the quality can reach a special level. A small portion of semi-processed food can be bought online, but other products are only sold in Nanqing. Online shopping depends on hand speed, offline racing. Yesterday I was late by a second and missed the last box of Little Rabbit Farm strawberries in the supermarket. Bye-bye." Some netizens went to Taobao to search for Little Rabbit Farm, and the prices of the farm products that popped up made them wonder if the seller had set the wrong numbers. Little Rabbit Farm specialty strawberries, 12 starting at 6, shipping not included. Why didn't they just rob others? 12 yuan could buy about a caddy of strawberries. Clicking on the comments, the buyers were praising the strawberries to the skies, claiming the taste was heaven-defying, and even praises like, "This strawberry should only exist in heaven" popped up. Is it really that good? I don't believe it. Buy some to try. As soon as they clicked on the purchase button, a notification popped up, "Frowny face, this product is sold out." Damn, is this the attitude of a businessman? Can't even spend money? Clicking on the other products, they were all ridiculously expensive, yet mysteriously tempting. Without exception, they were all sold out. Hunger marketing, right? You think I'll fall for such a low-end consumer trap? Damn, if I can't buy it, I'll go to the black market. After a quick search, the black market prices were as follows. Second-hand Little Rabbit Farm specialty strawberries, 36 starting at 6. Strong buyers, no bargaining, no replies. If you want to bid, you can get 2 boxes. Take it or leave it. Are second-hand products so expensive these days? After such a fuss, many netizens had a direct understanding of Little Rabbit Farm. Expensive. Difficult to buy. This Little Rabbit Farm is so fresh and unpretentious. Very good, it successfully attracted my attention. See you at the lucky draw on Weibo. However, for many netizens, setting aside Little Rabbit Farm for the time being, the venue used for the live broadcast of Two Under One Roof was actually Vase Fairy's home. This immortal villa, the immortal garden, the vast vegetable field, the clear pond, the distant farm, all belonged to the Vase Fairy? Countless netizens fell into deep thought. Her entry into the entertainment industry was more than just a national team player going to the countryside to help the poor. This was simply a rich and beautiful young lady who had come here to experience the hardships of life. Chapter 66. In the gazebo of the Xiang family home. Faced with Uncle Wang's question, Xiangyi asked with a blank look on her fair face, "What did the netizens say?" According to her imagination, she shouldn't have much of a presence in this live variety show. Uncle Wang opened his mouth and asked, "You didn't read the comments?" Xiangyi said indifferently, "I've been getting treatment for my eyes recently, so I haven't been using my phone." Her eyesight used to be very good, but over the past year she had probably overused her eyes, causing her to be slightly myopic. Xiangyi was not used to this, so she made some medicinal cuisine and eye masks herself. In order to ensure the effects, she reduced the use of all electronic products. Uncle Wang said indignantly, "Those netizens are too much. They said that you've taken over someone else's home and are claiming to be the owner. This is clearly your home, you tidied it up yourself." "I see." Xiangyi nodded, her expression unchanged, as if she was indifferent to the netizens' negative comments. Shi Sui leaned lazily against the back of the chair, tapping her fingers on the armrest. The Yin father and son next to her were equally shocked. This place is actually Xiangyi's home? Director Yin suddenly felt that his son wasn't worthy of Xiangyi, the rich little girl. Li Jinyu hurriedly cleared his throat. At first, Xiangyi said that there was no need to tell the netizens that this was her home, but the anti-fans provoked her again and again, so much so that even a clay figurine would get angry. But now that her disguise had been exposed, even though the young lady kept a low profile, he had to help her slap her face. It's like this. As we all know, there was an accident before the live broadcast of our variety show. The filming location was maliciously exposed, which seriously affected the normal filming. When our program team was at their wits' end, it was Miss Yang Yi who offered to lend a helping hand and asked us to film at her house. That solved our urgent situation. Li Jinyu explained the cause and effect of the incident in a caring tone. On behalf of the production team and the entire production team of Two Under One Roof, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Teacher Xiangyi. At the same time, I would also like to interview Teacher Xiangyi. Why did you choose to hide the fact that this was your home in the beginning? Xiangyi glanced at the camera and said casually, "There's nothing worth mentioning." Li Jinyu? Okay, as long as you're happy. The pop-up comments? I'm F***king cursing. Is this the highest level of pretentiousness? There's no pretentiousness? Hey, why aren't some haters coming out? You wanted to bully a soft persimmon but ended up kicking a hard board instead. Are you afraid now? Vague vase fairy's home's home at most she would's. If I were her, I would's I'd S's. This girl knows how to cook, has a low-key personality and is very polite to others. Favorability plus 100. Chapter 67. The fans came too quickly like a tornado. In the blink of an eye, Xiang Yi's fans had turned from pure fans of her looks to fans of her looks, personality and cooking skills. There were even netizens who posted on Weibo to complain that they had only broadcasted the live broadcast to their TV at home, but as a result, their mother, grandmother and other elders were full of praise for Xiang Yi. Yes, at this moment, the majority of Xiang Yi's fans were unexpectedly her elders. "Missy, go to the farm and take a look when you're free. The wild boars we've been rearing recently are really fat." Wang Xuanli's tanned face was full of anticipation. Xiang Yi said good-naturedly, "Okay, I'll go." "Okay, I'll wait for you to slaughter the boars." The comment section was immediately mesmerized. Slaughter? Slaughter the boars? I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. How can such a cute and beautiful girl be a pig? Freshly slaughtered pork is so delicious. Slurp so greedy. Oh no, so cruel. The staff at the scene were also dumbfounded. Teacher Xiangyi was so thin that she looked like she could be blown away by the wind. Slaughter the boars? Thank you for being laughed at. Wang Xuanli left behind a large pile of luxury goods, and used the remote control to command the robots to leave. Xiangyi turned her head and said gently, "I'm going to cook for Xiao Naofu. Anai, you go pick the chili peppers first?" Yin Nai clenched his fists. Okay, sister. After saying that, he realized that he was being too enthusiastic. He pursed his lips shyly and asked in a weak voice, "Sister, how many do you want?" Xiangyi knew that Yin Nai had probably never been in the kitchen before, let alone in the field. She smiled and found 2 small baskets to use as measurement units. "Pick 1 basket each of the red and green chili peppers over there." Yin Nai nodded seriously as if he had received an important task. He picked up the baskets and was about to go to the field. "Wait," Xiangyi stopped him and handed him a pair of gloves. "Put these on or your fingers might hurt." The 2 types of chili peppers had been repeatedly screened, crossbred, selected, and bred. They were much hotter than most of the chili peppers on the market and would be very stinging if he accidentally broke them. For me?" Yin Nai stammered. I'll put them on." Anai is so obedient. I said she praised me again. The girl's smile was sweet and soft. Yin Nai, a young boy who had just experienced his first awakening of love, couldn't resist at all. Even though he knew she was coaxing him, he was so happy. Whoosh, whoosh. Yen Nai's ears were so red that they were dripping blood. He pattered towards the vegetable field, looking like he was going to pluck out all the chili in the field. In the livestream, the love line has appeared. Gentle Miss X puppy little brother, I'm so cute. The person in front, wake up. Your brother is going to leave soon. What's the point of being a CP for a day? Why don't you join me as an untimely CP? CP fans get lost. Our Shuringdi is famous for not getting close to women. Even if all the women in the world died, he wouldn't give the vase fairy a second glance. Yen Genoa coughed. Then what should I do? Little Xiangyi, let me do something. What's the point of just sitting there and drinking coffee with Shi Sui? Shi Sui slowly typed a question mark. She felt like she was being despised. But who was the one who said he wanted to come to a variety show to relax and drink tea? Who would have thought that a certain director Yen had long forgotten his original intentions and was now addicted to work? Asterisk. Small theater, Director Yen, I love work, work makes me happy. Yen Nai, big sister praises me, big sister coaxes me, big sister likes me. Xiao Naofu, stupid woman, hurry up and cook for this hoo-hoo. Shi Sui, other people's children and cats have someone to coax them, but I don't, aggrieved. JPG. Chapter 68. Xiangyi's eyes curved slightly. There are several types of fruit wine in the wine cellar that I made myself. Director Yen, do you want to bring some back to try? Director Yan's eyes moved slightly, but he still said politely, that's too embarrassing. We'll just bring some chili oil. You can keep the wine for the guests, there will be guests coming later. Then Xiangyi uttered a magical forward spell from the Hua Nation. Since we're already here! Exclamation point. Director Yen slapped his thigh. Look at what you're saying. I'll bring some. Just a little. I won't take more. Director Yen happily went to the wine cellar. Xiangyi stepped forward, ready to make cat food for Xiao Naofu. Xiao Naofu followed her step by step, but when it caught a glimpse of the long legs following it, its glassy eyes turned and it changed direction. Duong, the white and soft kitten, bumped into the man's calf, then fell to the ground in a dizzy state. Shi Sui, this scam came out of the blue. Xiangyi hurriedly picked up Xiao Naofu and rubbed its little head. It doesn't hurt, huff huff. She carefully and gently blew on Xiao Naofu's forehead. Xiao Naofu meowed pitifully. Meow, Shi Sui. She seemed to understand why girls hated green tea. The pop-up comments were filled with laughter. Shocking. Green tea meow is making a comeback. Shuringdi's expression is so doting, this man is so damn charming. Xiao Naofu, I'm fine as long as you and Gidge are happy together, it doesn't matter if I eat or not. Even the staff at the scene had a hard time holding back their laughter. In the living room, Xiangyi placed Xiao Naofu in the cat's cradle and squeezed its paws. Good boy, I'll go cook for you. Xiao Naofu meowed coyly, wanting to go into the kitchen with her. No, kittens can't go into the kitchen. Although Xiao Naofu wasn't an ordinary cat, it still shed fur, so Xiangyi decided to cultivate good hygiene habits. Meow meow meow. This hoo-hoo is not a cat. Xiangyi corrected herself. Okay. Xiao Naofu can't enter the kitchen. Only then did Xiao Naofu give up and lie down in the cradle. Meow. Since the food was delicious, he would listen to this stupid woman. The back of Xiao Naofu's neck was suddenly covered by a warm hand, gently kneading it. Xiao Naofu's eyes narrowed as Shi Sui's low and gentle voice suddenly sounded in its ears. I'll help you in the kitchen? Xiao Naofu. Only then did it realize that the hand on the back of its neck belonged to Shi Sui. What shocked it even more was that Xiangyi actually nodded in agreement. Alright, thank you, senior. Xiao Naofu? Why can you enter but I hoo-hoo cannot? It was so angry that it waved its little claws and scratched the back of Shi Sui's hand. She didn't know if it was an illusion, but the man didn't dodge. Instead, he moved his hand closer. The young and handsome best actor lowered his eyelids slightly, his pale lips making a hissed sound, attracting everyone's attention to the back of his hand. The man's hand was very good-looking, fair and slender, with distinct joints. At this time, a few red claw marks suddenly appeared on the back of his hand, giving it a seductive and ascetic sense of beauty. Senior. Xiangyi panicked. Wait a moment, I'll go get the alcohol. No need. Shi Sui put down his hand as if nothing had happened and smiled helplessly. It's just a small injury, Xiao Naofu definitely didn't do it on purpose. Right? She casually lowered her deep and clear eyes, but when she met Xiao Naofu's gaze, a trace of blackness flashed across her eyes. Whoa. Xiao Naofu's fur exploded. King played me. Chapter 69. Xiao Naofu, who prided itself on mastering the skills of green tea, realized at this moment that it was still too naive. This man's tea skills are truly extraordinary. Xiao Naofu was so angry that it wanted to pounce on Shui and scratch him again. However, Xiangyi grabbed it by the back of its neck, and it could only scratch anxiously in the air. Xiao Naofu, you can't scratch people. Xiangyi sternly lectured it. If you don't behave, I'll lock you up. Xiao Naofu. Its beautiful cat eyes were filled with shock and heartache. You actually want to lock me up in a dark room for a stinky man? Ah, I'm so angry. A certain best actor was still calmly fanning the flames. Xiao Naofu is still young, it's normal for it to be immature. I'm fine, it won't hurt to be scratched a few times. Don't scare it, it's not good to leave a psychological trauma. Xiao Naofu, why is this man's tea talk more proficient than mine? Xiangyi said apologetically, I'm sorry senior, I'll teach it well. However, Xiao Naofu did not cooperate and struggled desperately, looking like it was going to fight Shui to the death. Xiangyi had no choice but to put Xiao Naofu in the bedroom and close the door. Xiao Naofu gradually lost its mind and began barking through the door, sounding like a dog's bark. The netizens in the live stream were laughing like crazy. Shui is so entertaining. Ha ha, has Xiao Naofu become a spirit? Green Tea Meow is stupid. Does it think Shui won the Best Actor award for nothing? It's okay to make a cat bark like a dog, but I'm laughing until the earth collapses and the mountains collapse. Heroes die on the stairway to heaven. Xiangyi went to get some alcohol and a sticky note. Senior, please disinfect it. Xiao Naofu didn't have time to get vaccinated. Shui took it and chuckled. Okay. Then I'll get to work first. Wait a minute. Ha. Xiangyi turned around and a pair of gold-rimmed glasses suddenly appeared in front of her eyes. The man's slightly protruded, and the scars on the back of his hand seemed to be entwined with a few red threads. He slowly helped Xiangyi put on her glasses, tidied up the girl's hair and warmly said, Plain glasses, be careful not to burn your eyes when making chili oil. The frame of the glasses still seemed to retain the warmth of his body. Xiangyi was stunned for a few seconds before she said slowly, Thank you. Zai Zai is so nice and kind, she thought to herself. In the live stream, Shurindi gave the vase fairy glasses? Everyone, please don't think too much. Our Shui is just a good-looking, kind-hearted guy who takes care of his juniors. I don't care, this is candy. It's candy. So annoying, why are you talking about dating? I just want to see the chili oil, okay? Haha, who said our sister E seduced Shurindi? Open your eyes and see who it is. Who? Chapter 70. Just wearing a pair of glasses was enough to make the few fans of the couple celebrate the new year. The fans of the Shui sisters, on the other hand, were filled with ellipses. It can't be what I think it is, right? He probably thinks of her as his sister, right? Shui is just being gentle out of habit. He also takes good care of Yen Nai. One person's lie was self-deception, but a group of people's lies would be taken as truth. The Shui sisters brainwashed each other, and as they continued to brainwash each other, they began to think that Shui was treating the vase fairy as his sister. It must be. Since she's Shui's sister, she's everyone's sister too. What's there to scold her for? Thus, the number of comments scolding Xiangyi in the live stream instantly decreased. Xiangyi first made a bowl of tuna and pumpkin rice for Xiao Naofu and sent it to the bedroom. Xiao Naofu was lying on the ingot's nest. When it saw her, it turned its face away and sulked proudly. Xiao Naofu, time to eat. I'm ignoring you. There's tuna, a big tiger's favorite fish. Xiao Naofu's ears twitched. Sigh, if you don't eat it, I'll have to throw it away. Xiao Naofu's pupils constricted. This stupid woman, how can you be so wasteful? Its heart wavered violently, but it still couldn't get over the hurdle in its heart. I don't care about my reputation. Do you think I'll eat it just because you want me to? Seeing this, Xiangyi had no choice but to use her trump card. Well, I don't know if Senior sure likes tuna. If you don't eat it, I'll give it to him to try. Xiao Naofu jumped up, its meaty little paws pressing down on the small bowl, valiantly raising its chin. Its meaning was self-evident. This is my food. Xiangyi gently scratched its chin twice and said softly, Just one bite, okay? Meow. Then? I'll give this stupid woman some face. One bite. Xiao Naofu lowered its head and tasted the rice. The cat's glass-like eyes widened in an instant. The freshly cooked tuna was mixed with soft pumpkin puree and sprinkled with a little egg yolk. It was super delicious. Thus, one mouthful turned into many mouthfuls. Xiangyi heaved a sigh of relief. She had finally managed to coax this little devil. However, when she passed by the living room, she met the gaze of a certain best actor, After the wound on his hand was disinfected with alcohol, it seemed to be redder. His skin was pale and the small wound was particularly obvious. Xiangyi guiltily took out a few cute bunny plushies and placed them beside Shui. "Why are you giving me this?" The man's voice was so low that it made people's ears itch. Xiangyi braced herself and said, "You're too lonely sitting here alone." Shui blinked her peach blossom eyes and picked up a rabbit. Her beautiful slender fingers gently pinched the rabbit's ears. "Tutu." The man's tone was gentle, but there was a teasing smile in his eyes. "Isn't that your nickname?" "Xiangyi!" Exclamation point. How did he know? The girl's ears were visibly red, and the crimson quickly spread to her slender swan-like neck. She was stunned. "Senior, the live comments, Tutu? So cute. Pretty sister's nickname is so nice. Sister E is so suitable for the name Tutu. She must have been a soft and cute little girl when she was young." The next second, the man's Adam's apple bobbed, and his low and sexy voice spread to the ears of everyone in the live broadcast room. "I remember you're called Tutu because you like spicy rabbit heads?" He laughed lightly and flirtatiously. "Quite cute." Chapter 71. The pitter-patter of water continued. Xiangyi squeezed the hand sanitizer for the third time, but her ears were still red. Due to her strong objection, the Xiang family had not called her by her nickname Tutu for a long time. She didn't expect to hear it from Shui. The young girl, whose emotions rarely fluctuated, felt a sense of shame that she hadn't felt for a long time. It wasn't until Yan Nai returned with 2 baskets full of chili that Xiangyi snapped back to her senses. She washed the red and green chili peppers, drained them, and chopped them before setting them aside for later use. She then took out the chili powder she had made a few days ago. The transparent bottle contained a mixture of several other chili peppers and some spices. She unscrewed the wooden cap and the aroma wafted out. Yan Nai sniffed hard twice and his nose instantly itched. He hurriedly took a few steps back and sneezed several times with his sleeve covering his nose. "Sister, this chili powder smells so spicy." Xiangyi smiled and said, "There's devil pepper in it." It was just the juice that had been diluted many times. After preparing the ingredients, Xiangyi heated up the oil in the pot. She was going to pour oil over the chili peppers. The method was actually very simple. Mix several chili peppers with pepper, sesame seeds, crushed peanuts, and salt. Pour the hot oil over it twice, stir it evenly, let it cool, and then put it into a suitable container. When the hot oil was slowly poured over the chili peppers, the spicy and fragrant aroma could be felt through the screen. "Amazing, this bright red chili oil is amazing. I must have been a glutton in my previous life. I'm drooling at the sight of chili oil. Ah, cold stir-fried vegetables, steamed buns and egg pancakes. I can unlock and ways to eat them in minutes." The number of viewers in the live stream of 2 Under One Roof was stable, while Heartbeat Next Door was like a roller coaster as the number of viewers plummeted. The reason was that the interactions between the guests were too awkward. The 4 of them were not familiar with each other before. If it was a recorded variety show, it would be fine as the editing could save the situation. However, in a live stream format, everything would be magnified. The good side would be more visible, such as Xiangyi's cooking. The downside would also be more prominent. They wouldn't have the naturalness of 2 Under One Roof. Yu Miao Miao was eager to steal the limelight. She wished she could do a split all the time. Fu Jiayin kept flattering Jiang Qin, but his words were getting more and more vulgar. Qin Wanyin had a clear goal. She was trying her best to find a topic to talk about with Jiang Qin, but Jiang Qin was a man of few words. As a result, the conversation became awkward. If it weren't for the various missions and games arranged by the production team, the atmosphere would have been awkward. Director Qin couldn't figure it out. They were all popular celebrities, so why didn't the audience pay for it? Irritated, he smoked one cigarette after another, cursing the netizens in his heart for their poor taste. "Director Qin." The assistant ran over excitedly. "We've received the guest list for 2 Under One Roof this afternoon." Director Qin scolded, "What's there to be happy about? Has his head been kicked by a donkey?" "They hired Smog. It's that esports player with a particularly fiery temper. Xingqian app has a rule that if you use foul language, you'll be locked out of the live broadcast room as a punishment." When Smog was mentioned, there was no one who did not know him. However, what everyone knew about him was not what games he played or how good he was at them. Instead, they knew that he would exchange insults with the opposing player in the league competition. The opposing player had been killed by him more than 10 times in a row. He had a mental breakdown and directly cursed, "F*** your sister." At that time, the camera happened to sweep across Smog. A sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. His typing speed was dazzling. At first glance, his cursing seemed quite civilized. Your parents have gone to heaven. The bosses and coaches of both teams almost died on the spot. Brother Lai Liao. Good night. Chapter 72. In the end, both of them were suspended for a month. As a result, the league changed its rules and prohibited players from communicating on the game channel. He actually invited Smog? Director Chen sneered. It seems that Shi Sui is Li Jianyu's biggest trump card. Smog's popularity was comparable to that of a celebrity, but he was undoubtedly a ticking time bomb. Xingchen live streaming app had strict restrictions on the words and actions of the streamer. If the streamer cursed once, the streamer would be warned, the streamer would be restricted twice, and the streamer would be banned 3 times. The length of the ban depended on the severity of the situation. Director Chen began to make plans in his mind again. Without saying much, Smog would probably ban the live stream of Two Under One Roof until the next day. Once the live stream was banned, wouldn't the audience flock to Heartbeat? Yan Zhenhua and Yan Nai were about to leave, carrying bags of various sizes. Fruit, wine, jam, chili oil, and various specialties of Little Rabbit Farm. Yan Zhenhua reluctantly waved goodbye to Shi Sui and Xiangyi. Yan Nai pursed his lips and gently tugged at his sleeves with his fingers as he secretly looked at Xiangyi. He accidentally made eye contact with Xiangyi and quickly looked away, pretending that nothing had happened. Only his slightly red ears betrayed him. Here, this is for you. A sweet and soft female voice was as gentle as a mountain stream. Yan Nai blankly took the small brown paper bag she handed to him. What's this? Strawberry seeds. Didn't you say you wanted to grow something? This is easier. Yan Nai was slightly stunned. He had just casually mentioned it, but she remembered it. This feeling of being valued was unprecedented. He knew that his parents loved him very much, but they were too busy to care about his sensitive thoughts. A strange feeling crossed his heart, as if a feather had brushed past it. It was itchy. His heart was beating so fast that he couldn't control it. Yan Nai's lips moved slightly. He wanted to call her sister, but he couldn't. After saying a stiff thank you, he forgot to say goodbye to Shi Sui and plunged into the car. How could his son's thoughts escape his father's notice? Yan Zhenhua chuckled and shook his head. This silly boy. Shi Sui raised her eyebrows and said nothing. Goodbye. Yan Zhenhua also got into the car, rolled down the window and shouted, Little Xiangyi, remember to fatten up the ducks. I'll come again. Xiangyi's eyes curved slightly as she nodded at him. After sending off the Yan family's father and son, the other guests had yet to arrive. This meant that Shi Sui would spend some time alone with Xiangyi. The live stream started to get rowdy again. No way? Was he going to walk the love line? Vase Fairy, please don't harm Shirengdi. I refuse to form a CP. I refuse to be tied to hype. Prevent the Vase Fairy from getting within 2 meters of Shi Sui. What kind of trashy director is this? How did he arrange this? Two Under One Roof has such an ambiguous name and even set up such an ambiguous segment. If the Vase Fairy does something to Shirengdi, who can bear the responsibility? The netizens kept arguing, but what they were worried about did not happen. On the contrary, Xiangyi asked calmly, Senior, I'm going to slaughter a pig. Are you going to stay at home with Xiao Naofu or do you want to come along? Shi Sui said calmly, let's go together. Then I'll have to trouble you to help me catch the pig later. The young, handsome, refined, and abstinent Shirengdi said good-naturedly, sure. The netizens were dumbfounded. What the hell? Where's the love line I was going to criticize? Chapter 73. The fans were all confused. The netizens were also dumbfounded. Even if you don't want to watch the romance storyline, we're still quite interested. These two are so good-looking. If they can hold hands and kiss, wouldn't it be great to watch it as an idol drama? However, pork seemed to be more fragrant. Hence, everyone quickly adjusted their mood and looked forward to making braised pork, pork trotters, sweet and sour pork for lunch. There were also some viewers who felt that they had been scammed and thought that it was better to be scammed together than to be scammed alone. Hence, all kinds of mysterious suggestions appeared on social media. High definition, meet a single man and a single woman, come quickly if you want to watch it. The most touching and sadistic variety show in history. If you don't watch it, you can't be a good sister. I have to brave the waves in both love and career. The autobiographical history of a little rich woman. That man, he stunned time and softened the years. When she met him, she finally understood the saying, a person is like a rainbow, meeting the top will reveal its worth. Countless netizens who were surfing the internet out of boredom were all impressed and excitedly clicked on the stream. 5 minutes later, the live stream of Two Under One Roof happened to show Shui and Xiangyi arriving at Little Rabbit Farm. The wild boar was free-range, so if they wanted to eat it, they had to catch it themselves. Xiangyi observed the terrain and seriously discussed the pig-catching strategy with Shui. "Senior, I'll go over from this side later, you'll outflank them from the other side." The netizens who had been duped were confused on the spot. "Don't F***ck me, smile smile? F***ck? I'll omit 50,000 swear words from Haiching. I came here for the romance and the single man and woman, but in the end, you're letting me watch the two of them catch pigs here? Meat equals wild boar? Okay, I'm dirty, I'm greedy for her body." After watching it with relish for a few seconds, the netizens who had been duped returned to their social media platforms to repost it. "It's very realistic and good. I'm full of praises, this variety show is amazing. I strongly recommend it. Sisters are more important than the sky. If you're a sister, show it to me." Hence, more and more netizens were duped into the live stream. In reality, Xiangyi tightened her shoelaces. Her milky white and delicate face was serious. She tiptoed towards a little black pig that she had chosen. Although the pig's head was small, it was round and plump. The meat must be delicious. Shui cooperated and went to the other side. He didn't put on the airs of an award-winning actor at all. Xiangyi came closer and closer. The little black pig turned its head to look at her alertly and then ran away. "Now is the time. Senior." Xiangyi raised her voice and called out. Shui attacked from the side in a roundabout way, their coordination flawless. Bullet screen. "I can't take it anymore, I'm laughing so hard that I'm doing a 360 degrees dance on the spot with my right hand holding my left foot and doing a perfect forward flip with my left foot. Do these two people have a strong sense of variety, or are they just so funny in real life? Why are they so hot-blooded when they're catching a pig? Wake up. The best actor and vase persona were about to collapse. You guys are like the iron pillars and cauliflower at the village entrance. Charge. If they caught him, they would have pork to eat at noon. Piggy is so cute, so it'll definitely be delicious if it's braised in soy sauce and sweet and sour sauce." The little black pig was forced into a corner and suddenly squeezed into the dairy barn next door. Just as it was about to successfully escape, Xiangyi showed an amazing burst of strength. She jumped over with one hand on the railing and pressed down on the little black pig. She grabbed it by the ear and lifted it up. The girl turned her head, her eyes full of stars. Her smile was clean and sweet. "Senior, I caught him." Shui quietly stared in her direction and smiled gently. Chapter 74. The comments section had already exploded. "Woolly Sister E is so cool, she's so awesome. What the F***ck? Did the vase fairy just fly over? Shuringdi's smile is too doting. He really doesn't have any self-awareness or style of a movie king at all, woo-woo. I was tricked here by my friends. The interaction between these two is too natural. They can even put down the burden of being celebrities to catch a pig, and they're as happy as a child. Heartbeat next door is so awkward that I'm getting goosebumps." Xiangyi skipped away with the little black pig to deal with it. Because the live stream couldn't have any bloody scenes, the cameraman and Shui returned to the villa first. As soon as he entered the living room, Shui heard a scratching sound coming from Xiangyi's door. Probably a certain Xiao Naofu's mentality had collapsed from being locked up. He smirked, stepped forward and opened Xiangyi's door a crack. Xiao Naofu tentatively poked its little head out, and when it saw that it was him, its eyes instantly widened. "Meow meow meow. Why is it this stinky man?" Shui's peach blossom eyes seemed to be smiling, and his tone was lazy and a little teasing. "I'm here to save you, are you happy? Xiao Naofu, you even lied to Hu, doesn't your conscience hurt? Do you want to play with this?" As if performing a magic trick, the man pulled out a furry ball of wool. "Xiao Naofu? Tisish, do you think this Hu hasn't seen the world? Why would I like such an idiotic toy?" The next second, Shui threw the ball into the distance, forming a perfect arc. The body was far more honest than the brain, and Xiao Naofu's cat instincts urged it to pounce on the ball of wool. It hugged the ball and rolled a few times on the spot before stiffly stopping its movements. "Damn it, I fell into his trap. This stinky man is so scheming. Is it fun?" Shui had unknowingly squatted down beside it. His jawline was smooth and defined, and his Adam's apple was clean and clear. When he rolled his eyes, there was an inexplicable seductiveness to it. Xiao Naofu turned over and ignored him. Shui rubbed the back of its neck and said gently, "Be good in the future, okay?" Xiao Naofu, "Bah, I'm not listening. This Hu will not succumb to a stinky man." So comfortable, the cat's glass-like eyes squinted in satisfaction, and its mouth let out a childish purr. The whiskers on its pink cheeks trembled slightly. The peak of a tiger's life was nothing more than this. In the live stream, humans are inferior to cats. I want to be a cat in my next life, cack. Green tea meow has turned into a sweet and silly girl in Sheringi's hands, ha. Near noon, Xiangyi came back with the processed pork. Just then the guests arrived. This time they split into 2 cars. A girl got out of the first car. She was beautiful and had a slender figure. She had a delicate temperament. When she saw the pork in Xiangyi's hands, a trace of disdain appeared in the depths of her eyes. Then came the second car. This car was obviously different from the previous one. Its streamlined body showed its high value. The driver, wearing white gloves, respectfully opened the back door. A young man of about 20 years old got out of the car. He was wearing a white t-shirt, a black and white checkered shirt, canvas shoes and a sports bag. He was obviously dressed in a very obedient manner, but he looked unruly in it. The obsidian stud on his left ear reflected a cold light under the sun. When Xiangyi saw him, she was startled at first. Then she put down the basket in her hand in surprise and stepped forward to help him carry his luggage. However, he avoided her. A cold and indifferent voice sounded, and every word seemed to be covered in frost. Don't touch my things. Asterisk full recommendation votes. 3000 drop plus updated. Good night. Chapter 75. Xiangyi froze for a few seconds. Lowering her long and thick eyelashes, she whispered, sorry. She stepped back slightly and kept a certain distance from her fourth brother, Smog, who had been sitting on the altar for a long time in the esports circle. It was clearly the fault of the person who had taken over her body in the past year, but now she had to bear the consequences. In fact, she had long been mentally prepared, but when faced with her cold brother, Xiangyi still felt a little lost and wronged. Xiang Yu frowned slightly and glanced at Xiangyi before retracting his gaze. The corner of his mouth curved in self-mockery. Was she going to act like before? He used to trust her so much, but she, thinking of those troublesome things, Xiang Yu, who had a bad temper to begin with, became even more irritated. He quickened his pace and walked towards the villa. From beginning to end he didn't look back at Xiangyi. The live stream was suddenly filled with schadenfreude. Vase Fairy's downfall. I've realized that the Vase Fairy has a big appetite. One Sheringi can't satisfy her, and she still has the nerve to hook up with Smog. Samayogo, well done. The best way to deal with this kind of woman is to not look at her. The one who called out Samayogo, are you a devil? Our Smog is such an international name, yet you're calling it so old-fashioned. Haha, I can't take it anymore. I'm laughing so hard at the name Samayogo. Xiangyi, are you okay? The soft voice came from Bai Ruoruo. She brushed her hair and said, Smog definitely didn't do that to you on purpose. Maybe the weather is too hot and he's in a bad mood. South City in May couldn't be that hot. Bai Ruoruo's words sounded like comfort, but if you thought about it carefully, you would feel that something was wrong. She's an old yin-yang as soon as she opens her mouth. This big sister is quite pretty, but her face is a little unfamiliar. She seems to be a new artist signed by Xingchen Entertainment. Probably Sheringi helping her out. She sounds like a little white flower. What should I do? I'm starting to get excited. I want to see the Vase Fairy get abused by the little white flower. Xiangyi politely greeted her. Hello, I'm Xiangyi. This way, please. Bai Ruoruo carefully observed her expression and found that Xiangyi really didn't show any signs of anger. Thinking that Xiao Yang was also watching the live broadcast, Bai Ruoruo wanted to anger Xiangyi and make her act like a shrew on the show, so she pretended to be careless and said, Sister Xiangyi, don't you remember me? We met last time. Xiangyi said casually, really? Bai Ruoruo smiled gently and directly used her big move. Brother Xiaoyang wants me to say hello to you. Xiaoyang, who was in front of the screen, suddenly sat up straight. After watching the live stream for 2 days, he felt that Xiangyi had become a different person. It was inexplicably very attractive. But at the same time, Xiaoyang was also very dissatisfied. Since she was so good at cooking, why didn't she boil a pot of hot water for him before? Although he and Xiangyi had already broken up, he still looked forward to the scene of Xiangyi fighting for his affection. For the sake of her face and cooking skills, it wasn't a bad idea to play with her. Xiaoyang was immersed in his fantasy, but unexpectedly, a bucket of cold water was splashed over his head. Xiaoyang? Xiangyi looked confused. Oh, Bai Ruoruo. Xiaoyang? He looked at the screen in disbelief. Damn it, Xiangyi, this woman was pretending not to know him. However, Bai Ruoruo felt that this woman's skills were a bit different. She had to get serious. Chapter 76. In the short walk from the gate to the villa, Bai Ruoruo's mind had already played out a palace drama. And Xiangyi was distracted the whole time. From the information she gathered from her little uncle Xiang Feng, the biggest conflict between the person who had occupied her body and her fourth brother was lies. At first, Xiangyi didn't believe that someone could mess up a good hand of cards like this. It wasn't until she learned about that person's glorious deeds that she understood the truth. Everything was possible and there was no reason to seek death. That person had told many lies in front of Xiang Yu, outrageous and absurd. The most outrageous one was when she pretended to have a terminal illness and asked Xiang Yu to come back and see her one last time. At that time, Xiang Yu's plane was about to take off to participate in a very important esports competition. Xiang Yu tore up his plane ticket on the spot and rushed back as fast as he could. When he arrived at the hospital, he was so anxious that he didn't even take the elevator. In one breath, he ran to the 10th floor and the back of his t-shirt was soaked. In the end he learned that Xiangyi was just teasing him. Xiang Yu was angry, but he was even more relieved that she was safe and sound. He was ready to catch the next flight to the competition, but his ID was missing. By the time he finally got his ID and rushed to the competition venue, he was 2 minutes late. According to the rules, he couldn't participate. In that competition, his team suffered a crushing defeat, and the name Smog was scolded to the top of the trending searches. Later, when the servants were cleaning, they found Xiang Yu's ID in Xiangyi's pillowcase. Xiang Yu angrily questioned her, but Xiangyi acted as if nothing had happened. She said she just wanted her brother to accompany her, so why was he so mean to her? Xiangyi stopped her thoughts and pressed the space between her eyebrows in distress. She knew how to coax people, but how to coax them was a problem. In the living room, Shi Sui was chatting with Xiang Yu. The two had known each other before and they were talking about games that Xiang Yu was interested in. The atmosphere was quite good. But as soon as Xiangyi came in, Xiang Yu pulled a long face and said coldly, "I'm going to put away my luggage." He chose a room with ease, but the netizens in the broadcast room didn't care, thinking that the program had arranged it in advance. Bai Ruoruo warmly greeted Shi Sui. "Hello, Senior Shi. My name is Bai Ruoruo. I just signed with Xingchen Entertainment." She had heard that Shi Sui had always taken care of the younger generation in the company. She couldn't miss such a good opportunity. Of course, Shi Sui's way of dealing with people was flawless. Her attitude was gentle and graceful, but she also maintained a sense of propriety and never crossed the line. Wu watching Shi Sui speak is so enjoyable. It's obvious who's better. Vase Fairy can't even make a fart when a guest is here. Are you guys blind? Can't you see Sister E busy in the kitchen? If she doesn't cook, will we have nothing to eat at noon? In the kitchen. As soon as she touched the ingredients, Xiangyi's mood instantly calmed down. Fourth brother liked to eat rice and there was ready-made pork, so she was going to make braised pork to go with the rice. The 3 layers of fresh pork were cleaned and blanched until the blood froth was removed. Then they were cut into evenly sized pieces. The girl's knife skills didn't look fancy, but her hands were very steady. Watching her cut vegetables was simply a pleasure. She added cinnamon, bay leaves, star anise, and other ingredients to a fragrant aroma in cold oil. Then she added rock sugar, old soy sauce and light soy sauce. The old soy sauce was colored and the light soy sauce was mixed. After stir-frying for a while, the braised pork began to take shape. Why is she cooking again? I haven't ordered takeout yet. I'm on a diet. Stop, don't make braised pork. Erkang's hands are crying. With such a beautiful sister who can cook, what else can't be forgiven? Shiringdi and Sameogu, you guys can split them. I just want a bite of meat. Seconded. Seconded +1. At this time, no one realized that Xiangyi's biggest fan group, foodie fans, were accumulating at an alarming rate. Chapter 77. Xiangyi added hot water to the pot, ginger slices and red dates, and let the braised pork simmer slowly. This dish took a long time to cook. Xiangyi stayed at the stove, thinking hard about what to cook for her brother. She wanted to cook all the delicious food for her brother. The braised pork in the pot was tantalizing, and the girl's dazed look was soft and cute. The foodie fans and the beauty fans were greatly satisfied. Anand finished his work and rushed to the recording site. In the living room, Bai Ruoruo was glamorous. Somehow she managed to convince Shi Sui and Smog to play games together. The room kept echoing with her soft laughter. Xiangyi sat on the kitchen stool with her face covered in dirt. Her hair was messed up when she was catching the pig, and her hair was scattered around her ears. Without comparison, there would be no harm. Anand suddenly felt that his sweetheart was like Cinderella in a fairy tale, and he showed a pained expression. "Sweetheart, your hair is messy. Come here and I'll tie it up for you. Xiangyi thought it would be fine to just tie it up casually, but she didn't expect Anan to pull her to the bedroom. The program team tacitly agreed not to film the bedroom. The bedroom was equivalent to the safe zone in the game. As soon as they entered the room, Anan raised his hand and turned off Xiangyi's microphone. He said bitterly, "Sweetheart, are you stupid? Look at that white lotus calling brother Smog and senior Sure Sway. She's so pretentious and cute. Look at you, our sweetheart is a little fairy. Why did they force you to be their kitchen maid? What kind of stupid program is this? Why do they make you cook in the kitchen every day?" He was so angry that his hair exploded, and he looked even more wrong than Xiangyi. Xiangyi's heart warmed. She had traveled through many worlds and seen all kinds of people. People's hearts were easy to change and they were even more unpredictable. Slowly she became tired of socializing with people, so she looked cold on the outside. But she also cherished everyone who was good to her. She explained gently, "I wasn't forced. I really enjoy the process of cooking." The little girl took the initiative to untie the hair tie. "Didn't you want to help me tie my hair?" Anan sniffed. "Go take a shower first, then blow dry your hair. I want to dress you up beautifully and let that white lotus know what it means to be a flower of wealth." "My braised pork is still stewing," Xiangyi sighed when Anan glared at her. Okay. I'll listen to you." In the living room. The game had already gone on for several rounds. Bairuo felt like she was in a dream. She was actually able to play games with these two outstanding men. Her skills were terrible, but Smog and Sure Sway didn't seem to mind her. Smog would stand guard in front of her with a gun, but he would jump around from time to time and suddenly aim at her. Every time, Sure Sway would find a secluded corner and gently ask her to hide in it with his deep and magnetic voice. Little did they know that the bullet screen was like this. Haha, Smog is really irritated. There were several times when I felt like he wanted to shoot Bairuo. Xiangyi's acting skills are worthy of praising rotten rice as delicious. He can still maintain a calm tone when talking to Bairuo, telling her to hide and not be a burden. He's calm my ass. You can pay attention to the details of his hands. He's touched his trouser pocket several times. His smoking addiction is probably acting up. Speaking of which, where did the vase fairy go? Why does it take so long to tie up her hair? Hurry up and cook. The braised pork is almost done. Just as this bullet screen floated past, Xiangyi's bedroom door opened. The previously chaotic comments section seemed to have been emptied in an instant. Asterisk, if you say you'll update more, you'll do it. One more update, it'll be late. Chapter 78. Xiangyu Smog had sharp senses. Hearing footsteps, he tilted his head and looked over. His hand that was pressing the game console's controls suddenly paused. The sniper in the game was stuck in place. Sure Sway looked in the direction of his gaze and was also slightly stunned. Xiangyi was still quiet and calm. Her retro black velvet dress was of high quality, with a circle of white lace around the square collar, outlining her slender and graceful figure. The hem of the dress reached a little above her knees, revealing her white and delicate calves. Her ankles were slender and delicate, like a girl who had walked out of a manga. Her long hair was fluffy and soft, with the ends curled. Her eye makeup was a low-key orange-brown, but Anan had deliberately added some glitter, making her eyes glow like the Milky Way. The most amazing thing was her lip gloss. The perfect blend of gemstone and strawberry red gave off a crystal-clear and watery feeling. Her breathtaking beauty. After a few seconds of silence, the comments section filled the entire screen. What kind of fairy is this? Sister's face, I can do it. I really can. How is this a vase fairy? She's obviously a Disney princess who escaped. Sensing her brother's gaze, Xiangyi subconsciously gave him a cute and soft smile. Xiangyu came back to his senses and turned his head with a straight face, only to find that his character in the game had been killed back to the resurrection point. His face instantly darkened. Bairuo's expression was even uglier than his. She was wearing a pure and clean style, and the company's press release also said that she was the freshest beauty in 100 years. When Xiangyi was barefaced, the difference wasn't so obvious. But Xiangyi had only put on a little makeup, and she had instantly killed her. Bairuo's heart was filled with resentment. Couldn't Xiangyi just keep her face bare? Did she have to put on makeup to show off? What a scheming *tc. Very beautiful. Sure Sway pushed up his gold-rimmed glasses with a finger, the corners of his lips curling up slightly. Sister's world-class beauty killed me? That's what they said, right? The bullet screen was suddenly filled with, Sure Sway, you're not allowed to praise her. Xiangyi accepted his compliment calmly. Thank you. She glanced at her cold fourth brother and pursed her lips. The braised pork is almost ready. Is there anything else you want to eat? Xiang Yu said coldly, I'm not hungry. Bai Ruoruo also said sweetly, I've been on a diet recently. I need to control my calories and can't eat carbohydrates. The atmosphere froze for a moment. How about another boiled prawn? We can also take care of Xiao Naofu's lunch. Shi Sui stood up. I'll help you. His words easily helped Xiangyi out of her predicament. Xiangyi, thank you, senior. Shi Sui, you're welcome. The conversation between the two of them was as if they were old friends. It was so familiar that it made others jealous. Xiang Yu's eyes were filled with hostility. When Xiangyi passed by him, he said arrogantly, You're so ugly dressed like this. Xiangyi stopped in her tracks. Her fair little hand helplessly tugged at the hem of her skirt. She didn't care what other people said. Only her family was different to her. She looked at Xiang Yu, her eyes clear and gentle, as if she wouldn't be angry no matter what he said. After a few seconds of silence, the girl picked up the salted Xiao Naofu and whispered, He's in a bad mood. Can you coax him? Xiao Naofu? In the arms of the ruthless and indifferent esports god, a soft and white kitten was stuffed into the arms of the ruthless and cold esports god. One man and one cat looked at each other. Xiang Yu's throat choked and he held his breath. Damn it, how could there be such a cute kitten in the world? Chapter 79. Looking at her brother's stiff body but bright eyes, Xiangyi's lips curled up slightly. Although her brother had disguised himself well since he was a child, he couldn't fool others, but he couldn't fool Xiangyi. He was an out-and-out fan of furry things. In the past, Xiang Yu's favorite thing to do was to catch plush dolls. When he caught them, he would pretend to be aloof and give them all to Xiangyi, as if he was catching them for his sister, not for himself. Now that she had given him a real, live and cute fluffy kitten, she didn't believe Xiang Yu could resist this temptation. Xiangyi muttered in her heart, Xiao Naofu, I'll leave it to you. Xiangyi and Shi Sui went to the kitchen to cook, leaving only Xiang Yu and Bai Ruoruo in the living room. Bai Ruoruo leaned over to Xiang Yu and tenderly said, This kitten is so good-looking. The current Xiao Naofu was no longer as dirty as it was when Xiang Yu had first picked it up. Its white fur was fluffy and soft, its eyes were a beautiful ice blue, and its neck was tied with a red bow. Xiangyi told it that this was the big tiger's favorite. It tilted its head and looked at Xiang Yu. This was the stupid woman's brother? He didn't look very smart. For the sake of its luxurious seafood set, it nudged Xiang Yu with its little head, as if it was acting coquettishly. As if he had been electrocuted, the man retracted his hand with a whoosh, his pupils dilated. From the outside, it could be said to be cold and heartless to the extreme, exuding an aura that kept people away. But what no one else could peek into was, it's so soft. Xiao Naofu had long seen through him. It approached him with its short, fleshy legs. This time it was nudging his lower abdomen. Its cat ears rubbed against the youth's white t-shirt, revealing the faintly discernible lines of his abs. Its voice was coquettish and aggrieved. Meow, Xiang Yu? It knows how to meow. The comments in the stream. I'm dying from Xiao Naofu's cuteness. Sameo, go hurry up and rub it. It's bald. Oh my god, even green tea cats have abs these days. I'm so jealous. Bai Ruoruo's expression is too wonderful. Her face says, Am I not as attractive as a cat? I'm dying of laughter. This is AF * King Funny Variety Show, right? Seeing that Xiang Yu was still unmoved, Xiao Naofu's fighting spirit was ignited. There is absolutely no human in this world that this hoo-hoo cannot handle. She stuck out her little butt and rolled on the spot, revealing her soft and round belly. Her paws were facing upwards and the pads of her paws were a light pink. Her pure blue eyes stared pitifully at Xiang Yu, and she used her fluffy little tail to gently hook the man's finger. Boom. Something in Xiang Yu's brain collapsed. His fingertips moved slightly as he tried to scratch the cat's chin in front of him. Meow. Xiao Naofu meowed softly as it scratched at Xiang Yu with its little paws. Xiang Yu was a little hesitant. Did the kitten want a hug? Meow meow meow. The urgent call seemed to be urging him. The last string of reason snapped. Xiang Yu carefully picked it up, and Xiao Naofu obediently rubbed its head against his neck. It chose a comfortable position to lie in his arms and revealed a compassionate expression. Stupid human, you can serve this hoo-hoo now, meow. In the kitchen. The braised pork that had been simmering for an hour had soaked up the gravy. Xiangyi stir-fried it on high heat, and soon the thick sauce was wrapped around every piece of pork belly. The thick oil and red sauce were the color of sugar, and the aroma of the meat could be smelled through the screen. Chapter 80. The wooden spatula scooped out a clear piece of braised pork. The moment the meat touched the plate, it trembled and QQ popped up. After sprinkling a handful of chopped green onions, the time-consuming braised pork was finally finished. On the other side, Sui's boiled shrimp was also ready. Xiangyi gave him a thumbs up. She demonstrated how to remove the shrimp lines, and Shui learned quickly and well. Every shrimp was cleaned and cooked to a beautiful red color. He also peeled a bowl of pure shrimp for Xiao Naofu. Xiangyi sighed in her heart. Zai Zai is so smart and diligent. 2 meat dishes, a stir-fried vegetable dish, and seaweed bean sprout soup. They were all simple home-cooked dishes, but they were appetizing. Lunch was still at the pavilion. As soon as Bai Ruoruo sat down, she smelled a strong fragrance. She, who had been on a diet for a long time, quietly swallowed her saliva. Why was Xiangyi's cooking so fragrant? Otherwise, she would just eat one meal. At worst, she could go on a diet after eating. Bai Ruoruo picked up her chopsticks and was about to pick up the meat when a white porcelain plate suddenly appeared in front of her. A small piece of chicken breast, 2 boiled shrimp, half a plate of broccoli and a small tomato. The plate was exquisitely arranged, but compared to the 3 dishes and 1 soup, it suddenly seemed bland and tasteless. Shui smiled. Aren't you trying to lose weight? Xiangyi specially prepared this for you. Bai Ruoruo was now speechless. She squeezed out a smile. Thank you. The bullet screen burst into laughter. Haha, are you stupid? Who told you to lose weight? The vase fairy is so ruthless. Little white flower can see it but can't eat it. Braised pork and boiled chicken breast, this is 10,000 points of damage. There were also netizens who became fans. Xiangyi is so attentive. She seriously remembers everything others say. I love this silent and gentle personality so much. Xiang Yu's handsome face was tense, and he didn't move his chopsticks for a long time. Brother? Xiangyi had just uttered a small syllable when she immediately changed her words. Smog, try the braised pork? She pushed the plate towards him a little. This action revealed a bit of careful fawning. Xiang Yu's eyes were cold as he stared at her for a few seconds, as if trying to pierce through the girl's hypocritical exterior. I don't like it, he said indifferently. He picked up a prawn and slowly peeled it. His fingertips, which were known as the hands of God, had distinct joints and neat nails, but his wrist was empty. The red string of wishes that she had given him had long been thrown away. Xiangyi lowered her eyes and lost her appetite instantly. Suddenly, a bunch of people appeared in the bullet screen to laugh at him. Welcome to the live broadcast of the vase fairy being slapped in the face. Do you really think your skills are unparalleled in the world? Who would like to eat your cooking? Trying to grab a man's heart by grabbing his stomach is so outdated. The vase fairy's ability to seduce men is like a primary school kid playing house. Meow, Grandma's meow attracted everyone's attention. At some point, Xiao Naofu had jumped into Xiangyi's arms and rubbed against her fair little hand. The back of his hand was scorched red and looked extremely dazzling. Xiang Yu frowned. How could she be so stupid? How could she burn herself while cooking? In the next second, Xiao Naofu gracefully leaped onto the dining table and walked in the direction of Xiang Yu. It stretched out its meaty little paws and pushed the plate of braised pork in front of him. Then it tilted its little head and called out in a childish voice, Meow meow, Xiang Yu, F***CK, who could stand this? Chapter 81. The live comments, F***CK, has Xiao Naofu become a spirit? Ah, why is it so cute? Kitty, what color of sack do you like? Smog, hurry up and eat 2 bowls of rice. Xiao Naofu has already advised you. Try a piece, Shui said gently. Xiang Yu had a good relationship with him and had always respected him. With the little tiger acting cute first and big brother Shi's advice later, he pursed his lips and finally picked up his chopsticks to pick up a piece of braised pork. The rosy and shiny meat touched his tongue, and the wonderful taste overbearingly seized his future. The sticky sauce was sweet and salty, and the fresh pork was incomparably tender with 3 layers. First was the slightly crispy skin, followed by the fatty meat, which was fat but not greasy, and then the lean meat, which was springy and fragrant. It was so delicious that his hair was about to explode. Xiang Yu looked at Xiangyi in shock. The girl lowered her eyebrows, and her feathered eyelashes cast a shadow on her milky white face. She didn't pick up any meat at all, and only put 2 small pieces of vegetables in her bowl, which she poked at casually. Is she my sister? Xiang Yu was a little uncertain and excited. He clenched his chopsticks and picked up another piece of vegetables. That's right, this is the taste. His uncle liked to eat sweet things, so his sister would use seasonings such as oyster sauce and white sugar to create a slightly sweet taste. This taste was unique in the world and it was exclusive to her. Xiang Yu couldn't help but recall his bad attitude towards Xiangyi from the moment he entered the house. His temples throbbed, and his hands trembled as his chopsticks fell to the ground. Everyone at the table looked at him in unison. Xiang Yu squeezed out a few words from between his teeth. "I'm going to the bathroom." He strode away with large strides and his back seemed to be fleeing in defeat. Xiangyi forced herself to eat a few mouthfuls but she couldn't eat any more. She put down her chopsticks and said, "Senior, you guys eat. I'm not feeling well, so I'm going back to my room to rest for a while." Shi Sui carefully observed her expression, then quietly picked up Xiao Naofu who was eating prawns, and stuffed it into the girl's arms. "Feed Xiao Naofu some milk, okay?" "Okay." Xiao Naofu was dumbfounded. "Stinky man. I haven't finished my prawns yet." Xiang Yu washed his face with cold water in the bathroom for a long time before returning to the pavilion. However, he found that Xiangyi was gone. The fringe in front of his forehead was dripping with water, and his amber eyes were filled with confusion and confusion. Did he drive his sister away? What should he do? The three people in the gazebo were not in the right state of mind. The morning live stream was almost over, so Li Jinyu greeted the audience and turned off the equipment for the time being. "Teachers, can the live stream start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?" Li Jinyu asked. The broadcast time of Two Under One Roof was relatively casual, and Li Jinyu didn't want to make it so rigid. It was originally a lifestyle show to relax, and if he made it into a competitive show, it wouldn't be as intense. Shi Sui and the others agreed. Bai Ruoruo originally wanted to capture Smog, but when she saw his soulless appearance she gave up. She suddenly thought of something and her heart pounded wildly. She looked at Shi Sui. He was smoking under a lush green gardenia tree. He was very tall with a superior head-to-shoulder ratio. His temperament was lazy and casual, and the curve of his face was smooth. There was a thin layer of emotion between his eyebrows, but because of his amorous peach blossom eyes, he appeared incomparably seductive. Bai Ruoruo bit her lip and walked to his side, revealing an innocent and delicate smile. "Senior, the weather is so hot. I feel like I'm going to get a heat stroke. My chest is so stuffy." Dragon Boat Festival Book Review Lottery Event. QQ Reading. Post a comment in the book review section or chapter comments, bullet screen comments, etc., and draw 3 books with Nuanyuan signatured Event 6. 24 to 6/27. Good night. Chapter 82. Shi Sui's tone was lazy, and he had no intention of putting out his cigarette. He said casually, "There's some medicine in the medicine box in the living room." "That's it?" Bai Ruoruo's expression stiffened. He didn't even look at the figure she was so proud of. Bai Ruoruo said obediently, "Thank you, senior." She bit her lower lip with her pearly white teeth, looking like a pure white flower. She blinked her eyes innocently. "Senior, can I call you Brother Shi Sui?" Through the lingering smoke, Shi Sui looked at her. Behind his gold-rimmed glasses, his long and narrow eyes hid his smile without a trace of warmth. Bai Ruoruo's heart trembled. She didn't dare to look at him, so she avoided looking at the gardenia tree and forced a smile. "I was too impolite. Please forgive me, senior. I just think that you and my brother look a lot alike. As for whether she had a brother or not, didn't it all depend on her mouth?" Shi Sui said lightly, "Is that so?" He continued to smoke. Perhaps it was because there was no camera, but Bai Ruoruo felt that he was a lot colder and not as easy to talk to. But she didn't want to give up such a precious opportunity. If she couldn't get close to Shirengdi this time, she probably wouldn't have a chance to see Shi Sui in the future. Thinking of this, Bai Ruoruo hardened her heart and planned to use the same old trick she used to seduce Xiao Yang. She broke off a gardenia flower and sniffed it like a little girl who didn't know anything about the world. "Senior, this flower smells so good." "Smell it?" The two were originally separated by a distance, but now Bai Ruoruo leaned forward, almost touching Shi Sui's sleeve. From a distance, it looked like she was in Shi Sui's arms. Seeing that the distance between them was getting closer and closer, and Shi Sui didn't dodge, Bai Ruoruo's heart beat faster and faster. She thought that maybe he was playing hard to get with her? After all, she was very confident in her face. She wasn't as beautiful as Xiangyi, but she had the looks that men liked and she knew how to please men. Shi Sui wasn't interested in Xiangyi, but that wasn't necessarily the case for her. A soft chuckle was heard. It was low and deep, making Sue's ears itch. Bai Ruoruo raised her head and looked at him with bright eyes, but she fell into a pair of deep black eyes. Shi Sui had taken off his glasses. He was still handsome, but his temperament was poles apart. Especially that pair of peach blossom eyes. When he smiled, he was full of emotions, but when he wasn't smiling, he appeared to be heartless. Cold, sharp, and dangerous. Ruoro suddenly understood why he was wearing glasses. Without the lens blocking, not many people could withstand the man's aura. Do you know whose flowers you picked? Ruoro was stunned. Suppressing her palpitations and panic, she laughed dryly. I heard this is Xiangyi's home. It's just a flower, she shouldn't mind. Shui was still smiling, but his eyes were extremely cold. I mind. Little Rabbit's things had been closely guarded since she was young. The plush doll that Xiangyu gave her, she wouldn't even let anyone who wasn't close to her touch it. Ruoro didn't expect Shui to bicker with her over a flower, and her eyes quickly turned red. Senior, do you hate me? I don't know how I offended you, or did Xiangyi say something to you? I just treat you as an older brother and want to get close to you. Get close? The smoke covered the man's eyes and his voice was careless. Who gave you the illusion that I would touch any kind of trash? Chapter 83. Li Jinyu came to find Shui and bumped into Ruoro, who was crying and running away. Confused, he asked, What's going on, Daddy Sure? Why did you make the little girl cry? Shui lowered his head, took out his cigarette case and tapped out a cigarette. His tone was lazy. I don't know. Li Jinyu's mouth twitched. In a bad mood? Aren't you a little too fierce? Shui's addiction to smoking was well known in the industry. It was said that it was due to his habit from filming Rainy Night. The tone of that movie was gloomy, with a damp rainy season and a gloomy day. Throughout the entire movie his character was smoking. Later on it was difficult to quit, and Shui didn't seem to have any plans to quit. Shui held the cigarette in his mouth, his eyes thin. What's the matter? Li Jinyu was usually a joker, but he was very serious when talking about work. I've analyzed the data of our live stream for the past 2 days, and the momentum is very good. Teacher Xiangyi's cooking is very popular, and when it's time to eat, the live stream route will attract a lot of fans. Also, I have some ideas to discuss with you. The two chatted for about 10 minutes. Shui didn't say much, but his suggestions hit the nail on the head. Li Jinyu felt enlightened and prepared to go back and have a good chat with the planners. But before he left, he couldn't help but gossip. Daddy Sure, do you feel that Teacher Xiangyi's treatment of Smog is a bit special? Shui glanced at him. Do you have a lot of free time? I'm serious. Does Teacher Xiangyi like this type of little brother? I see that she takes good care of Yen Nai. Li Jinyu scratched his head. Actually, it's a good thing if she really falls in love with a little brother. I'm half a matchmaker, but the netizens are a bit conflicted about her behavior. They think she's trying too hard to please Smog. Shui blew out a smoke ring. You're thinking too much. Don't you check the name of the guest before inviting them? Smog was arranged by Xingchen Livestream to fill in the numbers for us. I really didn't notice his real name, Li Jinyu said as he took out his phone to do a search. His eyes widened instantly. Xiangyu? Xiangyi? Were these two relatives? That's not right. Why is Smog treating Xiangyi so badly? Comprehend it yourself. Hey Papa Sure, don't go. F*CK, so what if you have long legs? In the bedroom. With Xiao Naofu acting cute and coquettish, Xiangyi's low mood didn't last long. After taking a nap, she woke up to find Xiao Naofu sleeping on the pillow next to her. The little guy was snoring with its tail curled around her wrist. Xiangyi's heart softened. As a system, it should have a better place to go, but it chose to come to this world. It was most likely because of her. I'll cook something nice for you tonight. She whispered and squeezed Xiao Naofu's paw. I'll make you something delicious every day. Unlike Xiangyi's peaceful life, Xiangyu felt like he was sitting on pins and needles. He paced back and forth in front of Xiangyi's door. Over the past year, his sister's behavior had been too abnormal. Even amnesia couldn't be used as an excuse. Later, Xiangyu vaguely guessed that his sister's body had been taken over. But he couldn't be completely sure, so he could only cover himself with indifference. It wasn't until today that Xiangyu was sure that his sister was back. But his sister was angry. Xiangyu squatted in front of her door, his head and ears drooping like an unwanted puppy. Will my sister ignore me for the rest of my life? Chapter 84. Xiangyu thought about it for a long time before he finally mustered up the courage to knock on Xiangyi's door. He had to explain everything to his sister. Creak, the door was suddenly pulled open from the inside. Xiangyi held Xiao Naofu in her arms and looked at him in confusion. Xiangyu quickly retracted his hand because of his brother's baggage. His expression was calm as if nothing had happened, but he pretended to be fierce. Are you a pig? Why did you take a nap for so long? He regretted it as soon as he finished speaking. He wanted to make up for it, but when he opened his mouth, he realized that he had only accumulated Zhu En's profanities and couldn't spit out a single coaxing word. Xiangyi took a deep breath, stuffed Xiao Naofu into his hands and left. Since her brother hated her so much, she should not appear in front of him for the time being. Xiang Yu stood in place, staring blankly at her back as it gradually disappeared from his field of vision. He sighed and raised Xiao Naofu in front of him. What should I do? I made her angry. Xiao Naofu's expression was noble and cold. What a stupid human. Did you just realize how much you've gone overboard? I didn't do it on purpose. Xiang Yu's voice was low, dejected and irritated. I thought she wasn't my sister, but she really is my sister. How should I coax her? Oh, stupid woman's brother has some IQ after all. Just like how Xiangyi treated Xiao Naofu well, Xiao Naofu naturally wanted Xiangyi to be happy. It waved its little paw and patted Xiang Yu's left chest. Well, the hint is obvious enough. Family members should treat each other with sincerity, heart for heart. The next second, Xiang Yu showed an expression of sudden realization. He took out his card bag from his shirt pocket and said excitedly, Say, if I give my little sister a max-level godly weapon paired with an epic sword in the game, would she be happy? Xiao Naofu, no, how can one sword be enough? My sister must have the best. I'll give her a full set of equipment. Xiang Yu said passionately. Xiao Naofu, this kid barely has some IQ, but why is his EQ lower than Huhu's? Xiangyi plucked a handful of loquat fruits. After washing them, she peeled them and removed their cores before placing them into a clean glassware. She had always been a patient person. Whether it was studying or doing such trivial things, she would never feel bored. After peeling it, she subconsciously wanted to give it to her brother, but when she thought of his attitude towards her, she was afraid that he would rather eat the loquat pit than the loquat fruit that she had peeled. Xiangyi laughed self-deprecatingly. Through the floor-to-ceiling window, she saw Shi Sui in the glass greenhouse. He was probably reading the script, carefully and repeatedly trying to figure it out. His serious look was moving and stunning. Zai was really hard-working. As expected of the person who won the Best Actor award. Xiangyi brewed a pot of flower tea and brought it over with the loquat fruit. A glass greenhouse. The more she smoked, the more addicted she became. Shi Sui lit another cigarette and glanced at the lines on the page. He had an excellent memory and could memorize the lines in one go, but he had a feeling that he couldn't act it out. Hearing the sound of footsteps, he looked up and saw that it was Xiangyi. His first reaction was to put out the cigarette. The little girl in a black retro velvet dress walked in the sea of gorgeous flowers like a noble girl from medieval Europe. Senior, sorry to disturb you. Xiangyi put down the tray and her clear eyes stopped on Shi Sui's cigarette box. Shi Sui felt inexplicably guilty under her gaze and coughed. Actually, I don't smoke much. Occasionally he would smoke 2 packs a day and that was all. Epsilon. Chapter 85. Xiangyi smiled and didn't say anything. Apart from her family, she wouldn't interfere too much with other people. This was the basic etiquette of a person. Shi Sui guessed what she was thinking and immediately understood what she was thinking. She really didn't care about him that much. The loquat fruit was very sweet. After swallowing it, she didn't know if it was a psychological effect, but even her throat felt a little moist. Xiangyi originally planned to leave after giving him the things, but suddenly a rebellious thought emerged. She pursed her lips and said in a soft voice, Senior? Yes? Can I have a cigarette? Xiangyi asked carefully. Shi Sui frowned. You're a child. Why are you smoking? Xiangyi defended herself. I'm an adult. I can be responsible for my own actions. Shi Sui was indifferent. The little girl looked at him eagerly and raised her white fingers. Just one, okay. Was she acting coquettishly? Shi Sui's Adam's apple bobbed and he threw the cigarette box over. Xiangyi had obviously never smoked before. It was purely out of curiosity. After holding it for a few seconds, she realized that cigarettes wouldn't spontaneously combust. Senior, do you have a lighter? Before he could finish his sentence, the man suddenly bent down and clasped his fingers together. Crack. The flame flickered and bloomed. The rebellious girl was stunned. Was Zai lighting a cigarette for her? The man's handsome face was very close. His jawline was thin, and his collar was slightly messed up by himself, revealing half of his collarbone and clear Adam's apple. He raised his eyebrows. You don't want it? Xiangyi hurriedly said, Yes, yes. Although the conversation was a little strange, Xiangyi didn't think too much about it. After lighting it, she carefully tasted it. Out of her occupational habit, she commented, It's a little bitter and astringent. I don't know what it'll taste like if you put tobacco in soup. It was most likely a dark cuisine. Sure Sui leaned back in his chair and looked at her with a faint smile. He looked like a playboy who indulged his child to do evil. But soon he couldn't laugh anymore. Xiangyi choked before she could even take 2 breaths. She coughed so hard that it shook the heavens and the earth. The corners of her eyes were watery, and they were as red as the cinnabar mole on her heart. She didn't give up and wanted to try again, but the cigarette in her hand was taken away by the man's big hand. You can try, but you're not allowed to smoke again. Besides, there's nothing good about it. The girl's expression was indescribable. It was as if she was saying, "Senior, you don't have the right to criticize me." A certain best actor's mental fortitude was very good. His expression didn't change and his heart didn't skip a beat. "Come have some tea." "Oh." Xiangyi was sipping her flower tea when she suddenly heard a clatter. She tilted her head and saw that Sure Sui had thrown the cigarette box into the trash can. His expression was still indifferent and lazy. His Adam's apple bobbed as he said, "I'll quit smoking." Sure Sui sighed helplessly and gently. "Don't learn bad things from me." *5 chapters. Anwan is very arrogant today. Praise me immediately. Happy Dragon Boat Festival. I'll try to unlock the update ahead of time today. Good night. Chapter 86. Thump thump thump. Her heart suddenly skipped a beat. What a strange feeling. Xiangyi blinked. Just like how she wouldn't advise Sure Sui to smoke less, she didn't comment on Sure Sui's decision to quit smoking. She just smiled politely and glanced at the script on the table. It was clean, but the edges were frayed. It had obviously been flipped through many times. "Senior, are you going to act?" "I'm hesitating." "Huh?" Xiangyi was curious. "Is there a problem with the script?" "The script is very good, it's my problem. This role. I don't think I can play it well." Xiangyi was a little surprised by his answer. Zai Zai has won the Best Actor award, how can there be a scene he can't play? Seeing her blank face, Sure Sui's thin lips curled up slightly. There are too many emotional scenes. Xiangyi recalled that Sure Sui had played almost none of the roles he had played since his debut. Forget about an on-screen kiss, he had never even hugged or held hands for the first time. "I see." Xiangyi didn't continue this topic. She had her own safe zone when socializing with others. She didn't like others interfering with her life, nor did she like to pry into other people's privacy. "By the way, I'm going to install a swing. Senior, come and try it out when I'm done." Sure Sui, "Okay, I'll definitely support you. Then I'll go back and change." With that, the girl walked away briskly. Sure Sui stared at her back and did not look away even after she disappeared from his sight. He remembered Director Yan's advice. If you want to act well in emotional scenes, it's actually very simple. Just have a few more relationships and you'll know how to do it. Relationships. Sure Sui rubbed his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. Xiangyi changed into a more convenient outfit and tied her hair into 2 buns. She excitedly went to install the swing. It was time for the live stream and the camera was pointed at her. Many fans were waiting in the live stream. As soon as they saw the screen, the comments section immediately became lively. "Sister Yi's buns are so cute. Is she going to install a swing? So hardcore? Wow. I see Smog in the frame. He looks so fierce. Sameo Gu is coming for the vase fairy. Oh my god, I can feel his murderous aura through the screen." Meanwhile, in the small building in the Sea of Bamboo, the live stream of Heartbeat was playing a werewolf game. The number of viewers had just increased a little when Director Chen heard his assistant report that the number of viewers for Two Under One Roof was increasing rapidly. "Our viewership numbers have dropped again." After all, most of the people watching the live broadcast of variety shows were still young people. Information was spread and exchanged quickly. Once there was a commotion, they would rush to the front line to watch the show. Director Chen was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. He snatched the tablet and took a look. The live stream showed Smog rushing up to Xiangyi and snatching the wooden board from her hand. He roared angrily, "Do you know what you're doing?" The young girl was obviously stunned by the roar. She whispered, "Install a swing." "What's the point of installing this broken thing?" Xiangyi helplessly tugged at the corner of her clothes. She sounded a little aggrieved. "You were the one who said you wanted to pretend?" There were all kinds of comments in the comment section. Sigma, degree, "Oh my god, Smog really has a fiery temper? You're about to vomit from the vase fairy's prank and you're still acting coquettishly in front of Smog. Are you worthy? Fight. I love watching this kind of cat fight." Director Chen's eyes lit up. He was waiting for Smog to curse and for the live stream of Two Under One Roof to be banned. Chapter 87. Ban, hurry up and ban it. Once the traffic is banned, it'll belong to Heartbeat. Only to hear the angry and violent roar of the esports god over the Bluetooth headset. Put that thing down. Are girls' hands for this kind of manual labor? The netizens in the live stream? Director Chin, who was waiting for him to curse? Did I hear wrong? What did Smog say? Not only were the netizens dumbfounded, but the staff at the scene were also dumbfounded. Xiangyi held the rope in confusion, hesitating whether to put it down or not. Seeing this, Xiangyu grabbed the rope from her hand with his other hand and said fiercely, "This kind of thing is for men to do. Just leave it to me." In the live stream, I suggest everyone post their shock on the public screen. Shocking, is Smog actually so manly? Is a little cool? I feel like I'm watching a domineering primary school chicken fall in love with me. Sameo-gu, wake up, your hands aren't for this kind of manual labor. Xiang Yu's hands-on skills were superb as he picked up the woodworking saw and began to gesture. He had liked to do handicrafts since he was a child. Xiangyi thought he was using the swing as a toy, so she tentatively asked, Then let's do it together?" Xiang Yu glanced at her sideways. "I'll give you a task." Xiangyi's eyes were bright and full of anticipation. "Xiang Yu, see that little stool over there? Move it over here." The girl trotted over to move the stool over. Then she heard Xiang Yu say, "Okay, you can sit next to me and watch. It's just a swing, no big deal." "Wait, you're too close, sit further away, at least 3 meters. No, 5 meters away." The netizens? Director Chin? Where did the hot-tempered Smog go? Who is this arrogant and cocky man? No, can someone explain to me what's going on? Doesn't Sameo-gu hate the vase fairy? Why is he helping her install the swing? This doesn't make sense. Gidge, your hands are for holding the sniper rifle in the game, not the woodworking saw. The audience was full of question marks. Xiang Yu picked up the woodworking saw and began to saw the planks. Xiangyi, who was sitting on the stool, gradually regained her senses. Her brother's attitude towards her seemed to be different. She blinked her eyes and wanted to test the waters. Smiling, she handed over a pair of gloves. "Wear this. Otherwise, it'll hurt if you scratch your hand. Who wants to wear this thing? I can't even do my job properly." Despite his words, Xiang Yu still put on his gloves. His face was ferocious, but his heart was filled with thoughts. Younger sister, care me? Bai Ruoruo was a step behind because she was touching up her makeup. When she came out, she found that Smog was busy and Xiangyi was sitting on the side doing nothing. She felt disdain in her heart. She was really blind. Smog must hate this kind of lazy woman. "Smog, let me help you," Bai Ruoruo said gently. "You look like you're having a hard time." The barrage suddenly floated across a row of ha-ha-ha. White Lotus showtime, performance time. Xiang Yu raised his head and glanced at her indifferently, saying, "Then climb the tree and secure the rope." Bai Ruoruo? Climb the tree? Her expression was horrified. How could he let a girl do this? Was he a steely man? "You don't even know how to climb a tree?" The young esports god showed a disgusted expression. "Go to the side, you're blocking my light." Bai Ruoruo. Chapter 88. Bai Ruoruo felt extremely wronged. She simply couldn't express her bitterness. She was a girl. A girl. Shouldn't a normal person ask her to bring water or a towel or something? Who would have thought that Smog would ask her to climb a tree? How could a girl climb a tree? Xiangyi raised her little paw. "I'll do it, I know how." Xiangyi was expressionless. "You don't." Xiangyi was anxious. "I really do, I can climb really fast." Xiangyi was super fierce. "No, you really don't." The netizens in the stream burst into laughter. "Ha ha ha, esports gods, double standards. Sameo-gu to Sister E, sit down and don't move." Sameo-gu to Bai Ruoruo, climb the tree. "Smog, you're so straight that you won't be able to find a girlfriend, you know?" Bai Ruoruo's expression is killing me. When a white lotus meets a straight man of steel, who will fall if not you? Smog wouldn't like the vase fairy, right? His tsundere nature of saying one thing and thinking another is quite cute. Soon Shui also came over. He really didn't put on any airs as he helped Xiang Yu set up the swing. Xiang Yu climbed the tree extremely quickly. Under the tree, Shui fell into a mesmerized silence. Climbing trees couldn't be a talent of the Xiang family, right? Previously, in order to eat the fruit from the jujube tree downstairs, Xiang Yu had climbed up in a suit. The two men worked together and soon finished setting up the swing. Xiang Yu was eager to try. "Let me see if I can swing it." Xiang Yu directly refused. "No." "Why?" Xiang Yu coughed and turned his face away uncomfortably. "Why are you so naughty? It's too dangerous." Xiangyi excitedly clenched her fists. Big Brother's attitude had really changed. The girl's clear eyes seemed to be filled with sparkling stars. She slowly bloomed into a sweet and gentle smile, completely different from the polite smile she displayed in front of outsiders. Shui was momentarily absent-minded. An absurd thought inexplicably popped up in his mind. If only she could smile so sweetly for him. Bai Ruoruo rolled her eyes in her heart. This Xiangyi really had some skill even seducing Smog. However, in terms of seduction, she did not believe that she would lose to Xiangyi. Why don't I do it? I'm lighter, so it won't matter if I fall. Bai Ruoruo volunteered, thinking that if she deliberately fell down, Smog would definitely catch her. When the time came, she would do something in his arms. A straight man was still a man. She didn't believe that she couldn't handle him. Bai Ruoruo's eyes overflowed with confidence. Xiangyu nodded. Then you can try. Bai Ruoruo gracefully sat on the swing, only to find that Smog was looking at Shui, and Shui was also looking at him innocently. Brother Shi, you support her. Why don't you do it? I just climbed a tree. My hands are weak. How can an old man like me compare to you youngsters? Bai Ruoruo looked on helplessly as the two of them declined back and forth. None of them were willing to help her hold the swing. Bullet screen. In the end, it was Xiangyi who came over to help. Before they swung, Xiangyu suddenly leaned over to Bai Ruoruo's ear and turned off their microphones. He lowered his voice and threatened, "If you fall, fall to the ground. Don't hit her. Do you understand?" Bai Ruoruo? This was no longer a question of being a straight man. Are you even human? She looked at Shui with tears in her eyes. The man smiled slightly, but his eyes were filled with ice. Bai Ruoruo's vision darkened. She never thought that her White Lotus technique would not have any room to use. Chapter 89. Shui and Xiangyu's craftsmanship was too good. The swing was so sturdy that Bai Ruoruo didn't even have a chance to fall. More importantly, she suspected that even if she did fall, no one would help her up. After ensuring the safety of the swing, Xiangyu let his sister go up and play. With a cold face, he helped her push the swing. Push it higher, push it higher. With her brother around, Xiangyi's courage grew. Why do you want it so high? Are you trying to fly to the sky? Although he complained, his hands honestly increased the force. Shui stood guard by the side, her eyes gentle as she warned. Be careful, don't fall. Bai Ruoruo? She wanted to laugh, but she couldn't. Complicated mood. JPG, why didn't they say a word when she was on the swing just now? Now that it was Xiangyi's turn, they cared so much. Did Xiangyi say something bad about her to them? Thinking of this possibility, Bai Ruoruo gritted her teeth in hatred. While the photographer wasn't paying attention, she secretly took out her phone and sent Xiaoyang a few messages. After playing with his sister on the swing, Xiangyu immediately went to chop firewood. Xiangyi circled around him, pouring tea in towels, tending to the plants and smiling at her brother from time to time. Xiangyu curled his lips and said in disgust, "You're smiling like a fool." Live comments. I actually think this scene is very heartwarming. Is this the legendary CP feeling? If you look closely, their facial features are a bit similar. Do they look like husband and wife? Sameogu, you're obviously grinning from ear to ear. You're smiling like a landlord's silly son. Bai Ruoruo remembered the information Xiaoyang had told her before and walked to Xiangyi's side. She pretended to praise the plants before casually asking, "Sister Xiangyi, what major did you study in university?" Xiangyi glanced at her and said lightly, "Agriculture." "Oh really?" Bai Ruoruo covered her mouth in surprise. "No wonder you like planting flowers so much. It's related to your major." Xiangyi responded perfunctorily as she thought about what to cook for her brother tonight. 4 was too little. How about 6? Wouldn't 8 be more auspicious? Zai was also so thin. Only by eating something good would he be able to nourish his body. Both the speaker and listener were interested in each other. The atmosphere in the live broadcast room was immediately stirred by Ruoruo. Agriculture? Study what? Farming? I can't move. I suddenly feel like Xiangyi is so... EXH? Other socialites studied jewelry design, financial management, and so on. The vase fairy actually studied agriculture? So low to the max. Didn't she, you haven't even finished university. You haven't even finished university. You haven't even finished university. You have you have a, youths? Xiangyi finished topping a margarita, creating a perfect ball shape. She casually said, "I graduated." Bai Ruoruo laughed in her heart. Xiangyi had entered the entertainment industry at the age of 19 last year. She was probably a sophomore at most, yet she dared to say she had graduated. Wasn't she afraid that the netizens would make her a hot topic? The comments were just as Bai Ruoruo had expected. The vase fairy was probably expelled from university and only has a high school education. As we all know, agriculture scores are shockingly low. Most people are transferred to this major with low scores. The vase fairy probably didn't score much on the college entrance exam. TSK, her family actually supports her farming. She must be a nouveau riche. She's a farmer who's afraid of not having enough food to eat. What a joke. Can diligent warmth have a recommendation vote? Good night. Chapter 90. Bai Ruoruo's lead was successful, and the corners of her mouth curled up. Suddenly she heard a dark voice behind her. "So concerned about others, which university did you graduate from?" Meeting Smog's narrowed eyes, Bai Ruoruo's expression flashed with panic. What? What can't you say?" Bai Ruoruo braced herself and said, "I was scouted as a trainee in high school." Xiang Yu unceremoniously laughed out loud. The live comments? So Bai Ruoruo is a high school dropout? We really shouldn't have high expectations for the education of celebrities in the entertainment industry. Smog is quite uneducated. Bai Ruoruo can't get out of the embarrassing situation with his question. To be honest, celebrities debuted early and some were even child stars. It's quite normal for them to not have a high education level. They rely on their faces to make a living. Compared to our Shuringdi, he's really awesome. He's one of the few top students in the entertainment industry. He entered Beijing University as the city's top scorer, but unfortunately he dropped out CAC. Bai Ruoruo's heart was bleeding from being exposed in front of everyone. Now everyone knew that she hadn't even finished high school. She tried to shift her attention to Xiangyi with an envious and worshipful expression. "I'm so envious of you, Sister Xiangyi. You debuted last year, right? You graduated from university at the age of 19. You're really amazing." Xiangyi. "Fortunately, I'm the last to graduate from university in my family. Big brother, second brother, and third brother were geniuses. Fourth brother, Xiang Yu, had finished university abroad at the age of 17 before returning to play esports. Even the most ignorant and incompetent Xiang Feng had finished business administration at the age of 18. Xiangyi, who grew up among the top students and prodigies, had different references from ordinary people. Thus, she had always thought of herself as a very ordinary person. Little did she know that because of her words, the live stream room began to ridicule her again. "Learning how to farm must have made you so awesome. You can tell all kinds of lies. The more daring you are, the more you will produce." The vase fairy's bragging is too natural. If her acting skills were this good, she would have won the Best Actress award a long time ago. She speaks as if it's true. A normal person starts the first grade of elementary school at 7, graduates from high school at 18, and goes to university at 19. I have a bold guess. The vase fairy might have really graduated from university, but she changed her age to enter the entertainment industry. *CK What you said makes sense. The vase fairy is probably in her 20s, but she's still pretending to be young. Ugh, disgusting. In the live broadcast room there were all sorts of cynical people jumping up and down. Apart from the netizens who hated Xiangyi, there were also quite a number of paid posters from the production team of Heartbeat mixed in. The public opinion was one-sided. Bai Ruoruo was still not satisfied and added fuel to the fire. "Senior Sure, you were the top scorer in the college entrance exam. I remember that your total score was over 700. Sister Xiangyi, how much did you score?" "Xiangyi, me? I think it's less than 700 points." It had been so long that she couldn't remember clearly. She vaguely remembered that it was very close to 700 points. Bullet screen. Haha, the vase fairy is so pretentious. She's definitely the king of acting tough. I've learned it. The last time I did a mock test I got 400 points. In the future I won't be able to get 700 either. Come, let's bet on the 50-cent vase fairy's real score. I remember that Nanqing's second-tier score was only around 300 points. As soon as the carnival of the haters in the comment section began, they heard Sher Sui's gentle and clear voice clearly transmitted through the microphone. "If I remember correctly, it's 699 points, right?" The comment section that had been lively just a moment ago instantly fell into a dead silence. Chapter 91. Li Jinyu, the cameraman, and the other staff members were all shocked. Teacher Xiangyi actually scored 699 points in the college entrance exam? Xiang Yu, who had been one step too slow and had his words stolen by Shi Sui, so angry he also remembered his sister's score. This kind of face-slapping thing should be done by him, the older brother. This was stealing his rice bowl. Asterisk asterisk, asterisk, asterisk asterisk. Bai Ruoruo's face turned pale as she laughed dryly. Senior Shi, are you joking? What do you think? Shi Sui slowly adjusted her gold-rimmed glasses. Her eyes were thin as she looked at her with a faint smile. The broadcast room was filled with questions. 699 points? Is the full score 750? Is Shi Yingdi covering for the vase fairy? I'm speechless. Shi Sui actually lied for a woman like this. Bai Ruoruo was flustered by Shi Sui's gaze and stuttered. Senior, how do you know this? Shi Sui said lightly, our families are old friends, isn't it normal to know this? Besides, college entrance exam results can't be faked. Do you think I'm lying? With just a few words, Bai Ruoruo was rendered speechless. Xiangyi, who was trimming the flowers, stopped and looked at Shi Sui with some surprise. It was normal to know. But remembering was rare. It turned out that Zai Zai was not only smart and diligent but also very attentive. Xiangyu was scratching his head anxiously. He wanted to yell at Shi Sui to shut up and give me a chance to perform. He had treated his sister so badly before, and now he had to make up for it. He pulled out a precious video on his phone and showed it to Bai Ruoruo. Here, my sister's interview. It was an interview from Nanqing TV station, and the subtitles at the bottom read, A 15-year-old genius girl scored 699 points. The image had been compressed by the phone and was very blurry, but it was enough to recognize that the person being interviewed was Xiangyi herself. At that time, the little girl still had some baby fat on her cheeks and her hair was tied up in 2 ponytails. She was so adorable that it exploded. Reporter, today is the release of results. We interviewed a 15-year-old passerby student. Who would have thought that she would score 699? Your family must be very happy with such a high score, right? My second brother said that I'm too stupid. When he was 15 years old, he was almost done with his medical doctoral thesis. The reporter was speechless for 2 seconds. He maintained his good professionalism and continued to ask, Wow, it seems that your brother is very outstanding. You are a science student. Do you have any learning experiences that you would like to share with everyone? Just read the book twice and do some practice questions. The reporter? What if you can't do it after watching it twice? No. The little girl tilted her head. Then, let's watch it again? Reporter, fake smile. JPG, she picked up the milk tea and took a big sip. As she chewed on the pearl, she said gloomily, My brother only watched it once. Every time I watched it twice, they would laugh at me. Reporter, continue to fake smile. JPG, alright, thank you for sharing with us. Let's interview the next passerby. Bai Ruoruo's eyes widened. She just wanted to lead the netizens to trample on Xiangyi, but she didn't expect Xiangyi to score so high on the college entrance exam. The broadcast room was once again shaken. Awei is dead. 15-year-old sister E is too. Sweet. Sweet. Come on. The reporter's expression is my expression in front of the screen. The world of top students is indeed out of reach. Smile? Did Smog just say my sister? The vase fairy is his sister? How is that possible? Chapter 92. No way. It's probably just a slip of the tongue. Smog is a few months older than Xiangyi, so it's okay to call her sister. F***CK. I just searched. Guess what Sameo Ji's real name is? Xiangyu. He has the same surname as the vase fairy. Haha, hearing you guys call her the vase fairy all day long, I didn't even realize what her real name was. At the live broadcast, Bai Ruoruo didn't even think that Smog and Xiangyi were siblings. However, she could feel that Shi Sui and Smog were protecting Xiangyi. She didn't dare to cause trouble in the open and carefully continued to record. Li Jinyu cued everyone. Teachers, do you have any plans for the afternoon? Other variety shows would often be given tasks by the program team, but Two Under One Roof was different. They only gave a general direction, and as for the minor tasks, they were given the highest degree of freedom. To put it simply, the guests could do whatever they wanted. If they didn't want to work, they could just lie down and chat. Bai Ruoruo had been eyeing the glass greenhouse for a long time. She felt that if she recorded inside, the results would be particularly good. In order to please Xiao Yang, she even went to etiquette class. If she could go to the glass greenhouse to drink afternoon tea and eat small cakes, it would be very elegant. Before she could speak, Xiangyu asked Xiangyi, where are we going? His tone was slightly uncomfortable. Just now he had blurted out, my sister, but now he couldn't call her sister. After all, his sister hadn't called him big brother yet. A man's face was more important than the heavens. Whoever called him first would lose. He must coax his sister and make her willingly follow behind him and call him big brother. Shui also looked at Xiangyi. His temperament was gentle and elegant. If Bai Ruoruo hadn't seen him in a dangerous state without his glasses, she would have thought that he was gentle and easy to talk to, just like the audience. Xiangyi, I'm going to Little Rabbit Farm to help Uncle Wang spray pesticides. Xiangyu didn't even think about it. I'll go with you. Shui chuckled. Sounds interesting. Bai Ruoruo was about to vomit blood. Spray pesticides. The moment he heard it, it sounded dirty and unkempt. Who knows how much the netizens despised him. But for the sake of the camera, she couldn't stay alone. She could only pretend to be very happy. I'll go too, I'll go too. The cameraman chased after the guests who were about to shoot, explaining several different but vivid perspectives to the audience in the live broadcast room. The scale of Little Rabbit Farm could not be considered large, but even though it was small, it had all the essentials. Halfway up the hill, there were wild boars and goats, and further down there was a dairy enclosure. The crop planting area was basically mechanized. There were planters, harvesters, and so on. Artificial intelligence robots were used in the warehouse. It was very convenient for them to tally, pick up, and deliver the goods. Wang Xunli personally came over to give her a few remote controls. Xiangyi thanked him in a low voice. Bai Ruoruo cursed Xiangyi countless times in her heart. It was such a hot day she was going to get tanned. She was here to participate in a variety show, not to do farm work. Bai Ruoruo couldn't help but feel aggrieved when she thought of the backward scenes in TV shows where she carried a water bottle and sprayed it everywhere. She pretended to be submissive and weak. Sister Xiangyi, where's the spray bottle? There's no need. How can there be no need? It's the kind of bottle that sprays mist when pressed. How can you spray pesticides without that? Bai Ruoruo was secretly delighted. She thought she had caught Xiangyi's loophole. Sister Xiangyi, you don't study agriculture. How can you not know this? Xiangyi looked at her with a complicated expression for a few seconds. Her finger pressed a button on the remote control. Buzz buzz buzz, a cool and brand new drone carrying a spraying tool slowly hovered into the air. Bai Ruoruo, it wasn't convenient to cut off the internet at home, so it was a bit late. Good night, I'll update everyone once the internet is fixed. Chapter 93. The netizens in the stream? What the F***ck high-tech farming? This is a rich and beautiful game with paywalls lighting up smoke. Jake. Oh my god, this drone costs more than 30,000 yuan. My family owns the land to grow vegetables, but I've been reluctant to buy it. I'm so jealous. Haha, Bai Ruoruo is my source of joy today. Every time I see her jumping around, I get slapped in the face. It's so funny. The drone's blades rotated, and under Xiangyi's control, it rose to a suitable height. Do you want to try? Xiangyi looked at her brother. Xiangyu felt a little itchy and picked up a remote control. Xiangyi quietly taught him how to use it. The two's heads were almost touching, imperceptibly exuding a familiar and intimate posture. Bai Ruoruo's eyes were red with envy as she squeezed forward. Sister Xiangyi, I'm ignorant. Teach me too. Xiangyi had no interest in her, but she still maintained basic social etiquette and patiently explained the basic operation to her. Shui casually picked a green foxtail and teased Xiao Naofu, who had followed her. Meow meow meow. Xiao Naofu hopped around. Every time it was about to reach it, the foxtail would rise a bit higher. It was so angry that its fur was about to explode, and its pink and white paws slapped Shui's calf. The man chuckled lowly, picked up the angry kitten, held it in one hand and tossed the foxtail to it to play with. Xiao Naofu snorted and turned its face away, ignoring him. Shui scratched its chin and gently negotiated. Be good, okay? Xiao Naofu then mercifully picked up the foxtail with its paws and began to play with it. In the stream, the vase fairy is poisonous, ignoring our Shui's eye again. Aw, why is this man so good at playing with cats? Ah, tsundere kittens are the best. I also want to be hugged and coaxed by Shurindi Kak. Want to team up to steal a cat? A kitten that can be sweet and can bark like a dog is a steal. Not long after, another drone appeared in the sky. Xiang Yu's operation was successful. Amazing. Xiangyi's eyes curved into crescents. Tisk, what's so difficult about that? It's much easier than playing games, Yu of the Xiang family said in a way that he thought was cool and pretentious. Little did he know that in the eyes of outsiders, he was just an arrogant and childish big boy. Bullet screen. Sameo Gu is really a primary school chicken. Ah. He was clearly nervous just now, but when the drone took to the sky he also became arrogant. Bai Ruoro saw how easily the two of them completed the operation and thought it was very simple. She didn't listen carefully just now. After tossing and turning for a long time, the drone still stayed in place, motionless. An idea came to her, and she leaned over to Xiang Yu and said meekly, "Smog, can you teach me?" Although Xiang Yu had a fiery temper, he wouldn't flare up for no reason. Out of courtesy he taught Bai Ruoro a lesson. In the end, Bai Ruoro still did not learn it. Tears welled up in her eyes. I'm sorry. Smog, am I too stupid?" Bai Ruoro was showing weakness out of habit. In the past, whenever she showed a pitiful and tearful expression, both men and women would comfort her with a few words. She didn't expect. Xiang Yu nodded and said something that could be called a universe-level straight man. "You actually know you're stupid? Not bad, you're very self-aware." Bai Ruoro? Are you F***king praising me or insulting me? In an instant, a uniform bullet screen appeared in the stream. Chapter 94. I finally know who Bai Lianhua's opponent is. Come on, everyone, type these 4 words onto the public chat. Iron, straight man. Bai Ruoro, don't walk the path of an actress. Be a comedian, I think you have a lot of potential, Is there a mistake with the tag of this show? Why did you choose the lifestyle category? Choose comedy immediately. Seconded, in addition to being funny, you can also add a gourmet tag. Dear, have you forgotten the tags of being in love, having meat, and being a single man and a single woman? Manual Doghead. The comment section was a sea of joy, but in reality Bai Ruoro really wanted to cry. It was too difficult, really too difficult. Originally she had come to ride on the popularity and trample on Xiangyi in a simple mode, but who would have thought it would be the hellish hard mode? Thinking about it carefully, the source of her embarrassment was Sure Sui and Smog's targeting. Xiangyi must have done something. Bai Ruoro hated her to death in her heart. She looked at Xiangyi with tears in her eyes. Sister Xiangyi, there's something I don't know if I should say. Xiang Yu, don't say anything you shouldn't say. Bai Ruoro. Xiangyi was focused on spraying the medicine and didn't quite hear what she said. She tilted her head. What did you say? Bai Ruoro organized her words and said in a weak tone, Sister Xiangyi, it's cool to use high-tech farming like this. But you have to know real farmers don't have these kinds of equipment. I don't mean anything else, I just think this is too unrealistic and there's no way to promote it. Instead of wasting manpower, material, and financial resources, it's better to donate the money directly to the farmers. Hearing this, Xiang Yu and Sure Sui glanced at each other. Both of them saw indescribable emotions in each other's eyes, but Bai Ruoro's words were somewhat provocative, and there were quite a few people in the live broadcast room who supported her. That's right, it's a waste of money. How many farmers are still facing the earth and the sky? The vase fairy is really eating minced meat by doing this. Anyway, I really hate the vase fairy's faint sense of superiority. So what if she's rich? What is she without money? Would she know how to farm if she didn't use these mechanized equipment? Of course, there were also people who expressed their confusion. What the hell is this moral kidnapping? Why don't you donate? Did I drink your water or eat your rice? Bai Ruoro, do you live by the sea? Please, even if this kind of farming method can't be popularized, Sister E is spending her own money. Going to bars and shopping for luxury goods is a hobby. Can't Sister E spend some money on high-tech farming as a hobby? Li Jianyu's heart was in his throat. He frantically gestured to Sure Sui to find a way to save the situation. If it were someone else, there probably wouldn't be such a huge controversy. The main reason was that the impression that Xiangyi gave people before was too, if an ordinary person did something wrong, people might tolerate and forgive them. But artists were very special. In this profession, their every move would be infinitely magnified, especially someone like Xiangyi who had always been slandered by the entire internet. To exaggerate, even if she were to drink a mouthful of water right now, it would be an unforgivable mistake in the eyes of many people. Sure Sui pinched Xiao Naofu's cheeks. Xiao Naofu was so angry that he hugged and gnawed on his face. His slender fingertips were covered in saliva, but the man didn't look embarrassed at all. He still looked elegant and refined. He avoided the camera and mouthed to Li Jianyu. Trust her. Chapter 95. Li Jianyu was about to go crazy. Daddy Sure, why are you giving me chicken soup at a time like this? Teacher Xiangyi is a silly girl, how can she deal with a girl like Bai Ruoro? If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have agreed to let Bai Ruoro participate in the variety show. At this time, Li Jianyu still hadn't realized that his impression of Xiangyi had completely changed in just a few days. He was even starting to be a little biased. At the center of attention, Xiangyi's expression was calm as she blinked her long eyelashes. What you said makes sense. Bai Ruoruo was secretly delighted. Ha ha ha, who told you to show off? You still fell in the end. The next second, Xiangyi slowly said, but you might have misunderstood something. The purpose of Little Rabbit Farm's existence is not only to harvest agricultural products for sale, but also to cooperate with Nanqing's Crop Breeding Research Institute. The purpose is to explore the planting data of excellent seeds in a variety of environments with different production tools. Bai Ruoruo didn't understand what she was saying at all, but she subconsciously argued back. But other places don't have such good equipment and they can't afford it. Besides, how can ordinary people tell if a seed is good or not? They don't understand these high and mighty things. As Bai Ruoruo spoke, she inexplicably felt that something was wrong. It was too quiet. Her body stiffened as she realized that Shi Sui and Xiangyu had no intention of participating in the conversation. It was as if disdain. An invisible panic swept through Bai Ruoruo's body. Had she made a mistake? The girl's gentle and quiet voice gently entered her ears. Little Rabbit Farm is only a part of the experimental data. Excellent crop seeds will be compared in mountainous areas, plains, sandy areas, and other places with different soils and climates. The country is based on agriculture, and agriculture is based on planting. Only by cultivating excellent seeds can it truly benefit the farmers. With excellent seeds, we can plant them in large quantities and then provide them to the market. Then, even if the environment is harsh and the tools are not advanced enough, we can still have a relatively high yield. The live stream comments. Although I don't fully understand, I somehow feel that the vase fairy, no, the little vase is quite charming. So it's a collaboration with the Research Institute. Sister Yi's response is too good. Woo, it's reasonable, gentle, and appropriate. I'm shocked. This is the power of knowledge. No wonder she scored 699 on the college entrance exam. Her logic is so clear. Speaking from the relevant industry, the young lady really isn't messing around. In fact, the application of mechanization and drones in agriculture is the general trend, but there is too little experimental data for reference in the country. Perhaps these explorations of Little Rabbit Farm will become a part of the butterfly effect of China's agriculture in the future. The direction of the discussion immediately changed and many people changed their views of Xiangyi. Most people's impression of her was rigid, and some were even just following the trend. This change might not be very thorough, but everyone now felt that the little girl gave off a rather comfortable feeling. At the recording studio, Bai Ruoruo's expression was about to collapse. She tried her best to smile. So that's how it is. Sister Xiangyi, you know a lot. I should learn more from you in the future. After saying a few polite words, she left with the excuse of going to the washroom. Bitch. Bitch. Bai Ruoruo turned on the tap and cursed in a low voice. After venting, she walked out of the washroom and saw Xiao Naofu, who was catching butterflies nearby. Her eyes flashed with ruthlessness and she gave the little cat a fierce kick. Xiao Naofu, who was unguarded against humans, was kicked right in the face. It tumbled down the cobblestone steps several times, and the cat was in a bad state. Chapter 96. Xiao Naofu's icy blue cat eyes widened, and it looked dumbfounded. As a newbie system, it was lucky to meet Xiangyi as its host. Xiangyi was undoubtedly the perfect support for the transmigration world. Every time she would get the highest score in rewards, and it would also level up as if it had cheated. It could be said that Xiao Naofu hadn't experienced much of the evilness of people's hearts, and its mind was almost that of a 2- or 3-year-old kindergarten child. Meow meow. Even Shi Sui, that stinky man, didn't dare to bully it like this. Was very angry. Bai Ruoruo looked around and confirmed that there were no photographers. She sneered. Scream, keep screaming. It's useless even if you scream yourself hoarse. Xiao Naofu angrily rushed over to scratch her. Bai Ruoruo couldn't dodge in time, and several claw marks appeared on her calf. She gritted her teeth. An ugly cat dares to scratch me? You're as cheap as your owner. Xiao Naofu, meow meow meow. It was so angry, so angry. She actually called such a handsome hoo-hoo ugly. What was even more infuriating was that she actually scolded Xiangyi. That stupid woman, only it could be fierce too. No one else could. So, Xiao Naofu showed her what Kung Fu hoo-hoo was. Bai Ruoruo didn't expect the cat to be so fierce. She screamed and quickly fled to where there were people. The moment she saw Xiangyi and the others, Bai Ruoruo felt like she had just escaped death. Whoa! Bai Ruoruo ran over crying, immediately attracting everyone's attention. Several photographers also aimed their cameras at her. Why are you crying? There's a dog chasing you. Xiangyu said irritably. He was in the middle of spraying pesticides with his sister and was interrupted by Ruoruo. Of course his temper wasn't good. Ruoruo grabbed the hem of her skirt. She timidly glanced at Xiangyi and quickly looked away. Her attempt to cover up only made it more conspicuous. Xiangyi. What's the matter? Maybe it was because she had seen too much of Zai's acting skills, but seeing Ruoruo's acting now made her feel awkward. Ruoruo sobbed. Sister Xiangyi, your cat bullied me. I didn't provoke it at all, but it scratched me so many times. I heard it was a stray cat. She was crying like a pear blossom in the rain, and there were several obvious claw marks on her legs, which immediately attracted the sympathy of many netizens in the live broadcast room. So pitiful being scratched like this, that's why you can't pick up stray cats. Who knows if there are any bacteria or viruses? I'm so annoyed by those who say they want to steal cats. So what if they're cute? Could she make mistakes just because she was cute? Could she scratch people just because she was cute? Previously, Shurindi was also scratched. This kind of bad-tempered wild cat should be sent to euthanasia as soon as possible. Xiangyi frowned. Are you sure that Xiao Naofu scratched you for no reason? Ruoruo revealed an incredulous expression. Are you doubting me? Xiangyi said, I'll take you to treat your wound first. As for the rest, I still need to confirm. She believed that Xiao Naofu would not take the initiative to hurt others. At this moment, Xiao Naofu walked over with graceful cat-like steps, tilting its head innocently. Ruoruo pointed at it. That's it. It's really it. Xiao Naofu had a frightened look on its face as it bounced behind Xiangyi's back. It used its pink and white paws to poke at Xiangyi as it cried out in an aggrieved and childish voice, meow. It was as if they were saying, asterisk, asterisk degree asterisk, asterisk that woman is so scary. She scared me. Ruoruo felt as if she had been struck by lightning. She never would have thought that this cat was even better at pretending to be pitiful than her. Was this a white lotus cat? Chapter 97. Ruoruo bit her lip and her eyes turned red. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she looked particularly pitiful as if she was about to cry. It's okay. Sister Xiangyi, it's just a cat. I won't argue with it. The bullet screen was filled with comments such as, Ruoruo is so kind, I feel sorry for my sister, and so on. Enough. He picked up Xiao Naofu and gently rubbed the back of its neck. I don't believe that Xiao Naofu would scratch you for no reason. Don't slander it. Ruoruo? Seeing that someone was backing him up, Xiao Naofu's cries became even more coquettish. Meow meow meow, Xiangyu's heart instantly ached. The little kitten was so aggrieved. Baby, don't be afraid. I'm here. The netizens in the live stream room were speechless. Shocking, Smog actually called a cat a little baby? Haha, I'm laughing so hard that the voice-activated lights within a 10-mile radius will flash for me. Although Ruoruo is a bit pitiful, I really want to laugh. Ha. Ruoruo's tears fell down. This time she was really crying from anger. Why would I lie? Can't my injuries be used as evidence? Xiangyu hesitated. Ruoruo's injury was indeed a claw mark. Meow meow, Xiao Naofu meowed even more softly and sweetly in his arms, its little pink paws timidly clutching Xiangyu's collar. Xiangyu lowered his head and met Xiao Naofu's watery blue eyes. Damn. How much had the kitten been bullied to show such an aggrieved expression? Xiangyu's sense of responsibility arose spontaneously. Such a cute and pitiful Xiao Naofu, from now on, he would protect it. Okay, since you mentioned evidence, then show it to prove that Xiao Naofu scratched you. Ruoruo choked with sobs. I just went to the bathroom. There were no cameras and no one else there. That means there's no evidence. Xiangyu's eyes were unruly and unruly. Maybe another cat scratched you. There are infinite possibilities. What makes you so sure that it's Xiao Naofu's fault? Ruoruo still wanted to speak, but she was interrupted by Xiangyu, who was eager to protect the cat. Even if Xiao Naofu really scratched you, it's possible that you bullied it and it was forced to fight back. After all, it's so weak, helpless, and pitiful. Bullying you? I think you're the one bullying it. The soft and milky kitten rubbed its furry little head against Xiangyu's collarbone. It nestled in the man's arms and gave Ruoruo an innocent and pure expression. It seemed to be saying, Sister, is something the matter? My brother only has eyes and heart for me. Ruoruo. She was about to vomit blood. In the past, she was the only one who pretended to be pitiful. Why was it the other way around today? Anger caused her to gradually lose her reason, and Ruoruo's emotions were on the verge of collapse. It's pretending. Can't you see that it's pretending? This cat was a white lotus, a green tea bitch. How is it pitiful? It's obviously ferocious. The next second, Xiang Yu covered Xiao Naofu's ears and raged, "Can't you talk nicely? Why are you scolding it?" Bai Ruoruo looked like she had eaten a fly. At this moment, Xiang Yi's calm and gentle voice sounded. "There are no cameras, but there are surveillance cameras on the farm. I can go and pull them up to see what's going on." What? There were surveillance cameras? Bai Ruoruo was dumbfounded and wished she could faint on the spot. Chapter 98. Her plan was that Xiao Naofu couldn't speak, so she could distort the truth. But she didn't expect this cat to fight and pretend to be pitiful. It was simply a drama queen. What was even more unexpected was that there were surveillance cameras on a broken farm. If the netizens found out that she kicked Xiao Naofu first, Bai Ruoruo trembled and began to feel afraid. There's no need for that. My injury isn't that serious," Bai Ruoruo said stiffly. Seeing her reaction, Xiang Yi guessed that there must be something fishy. The girl's expression didn't change as she stared at her with bright eyes. "How can that be? This is my family's farm. Everyone who comes is a guest. How can I let a guest be hurt and wronged?" Xiang Yu hugged Xiao Naofu and shook it as if coaxing a baby to sleep. "Yes. Check the surveillance cameras. Check it now." Shi Sui lowered her eyelids as a faint smile appeared in her eyes. The little rabbit was quite smart and hit the nail on the head. Bai Ruoruo's face turned pale. How did things turn out like this? The air seemed to freeze as Bai Ruoruo felt a burst of suffocation. The comments in the stream, "Oh my god, I can feel Bai Ruoruo's embarrassment even through the screen. Why aren't the people who sympathized with her saying anything? If she's not guilty, why would she react like this?" Two Under One Roof's first Little White Flower and Green Tea Cat competition has been perfectly defeated. Winner Xiao Naofu. At the critical moment, Li Jinyu couldn't stand it anymore and tried to smooth things over. "Bai Ruoruo, did you get a heat stroke? How about I send you back to drink some Huoxiang Jingqi water first?" Bai Ruoruo walked down the ladder and weakly said to the camera, "I do feel a little dizzy." Li Jinyu arranged for the staff to send her back. After the live broadcast of spraying pesticides, everyone returned home. Xiang Yi took out the cold brewed tea she had prepared in advance from the fridge. The method of making it was very simple. Soak the oolong tea in mineral water and put it in the fridge. She also pickled white peach jam, poured a cup of cold brewed tea and stirred it evenly. It didn't have the bitter taste of tea leaves, only a faint tea fragrance mixed with sweet jam. It tasted many times better than the drinks outside. Xiang Yu gulped down a glass of wine and poured himself another. "Drink slowly," Xiang Yi reminded him in a low voice. "This is very cold." Whoosh, Xiang Yu's ears twitched, and he gripped his cup tightly in excitement. "My sister cares about me." He forced himself to remain calm and said coldly, "Women are so long-winded." "Xiang Yi, this was definitely fourth brother's childish style." She looked at the time. It was almost dinner time. Xiang Yi asked, "Are we having poached fish fillets tonight?" "Doesn't matter." "Egg fried rice." "I already said it doesn't matter." Having said that, Xiang Yu's heart was already blooming with joy. Sister good, by the way, where's Senior Shi?" Xiang Yi was about to ask her Zai what she wanted to eat. "Brother Shi? I think he went back to his room." Xiang Yi didn't think much of it and went to knock on his door. "Senior, what do you want to eat for dinner?" Creak, the door was quickly pulled open. However, the scene in front of her made her freeze in place. Shi Sui had probably just taken a shower, as he was only wearing a pair of black casual pants. He was drying his hair with a towel in one hand. The water droplets slid down to his clear Adam's apple, then to his defined abdominal muscles, and his sinuous Apollo's belt. Everything was visible at a glance. "Xiang Yi?" The netizens in the live stream instantly went crazy. "Oh, Brother Shi, you don't treat us as outsiders." Chapter 99. Ahem. Xiang Yi coughed in shock. She immediately turned around and blocked the cameraman's camera for Shi Sui. You didn't manage to capture it, did you?" Li Jinyu held back his laughter. "Yes, I did. It was just a few seconds, the netizens probably couldn't see it, right?" The girl closed her eyes in despair, feeling extremely vexed. Little did she know that the man was putting on his shirt before opening the door. When he heard her voice, the corners of his lips curled up slightly and he casually threw his shirt aside. The comments in the live stream, "Xiang Yi, we saw it, we saw everything. Well done, little vase. Keep up the good work next time. I really get the charm of a mature man. His waist and abs. They're really not something that little fresh meat can compare to. Why don't we turn off the live stream for a while and let the teachers rest?" Li Jinyu saw that the girl's ears were so red that they were about to bleed. He was worried that the netizens would spout nonsense again if the live stream continued. Tiske, but Daddy Sure's figure is really so tempting. Amidst the wailing of the netizens, the live stream equipment was turned off. The staff also went to rest. Senior, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Xiangyi explained softly, so nervous that she didn't know where to put her hands. She pinched her fingers and rubbed the corner of her shirt. I just came to ask you what you want to eat. Oh, I see. The man dragged his words lazily and chuckled. His voice was low and hoarse. Can I order whatever I want? Xiangyi, yes. She wanted to make up for it, but when she heard Shi Sui's words, she wished she could arrange a Manchu Han imperial banquet for him. The tutu? Ha. As he wished, he saw the girl's milky white ears dyed with an even brighter shade of crimson. The smile in Shi Sui's eyes deepened and he named a list of dishes. Spicy rabbit head? Cold rabbit? Rabbit stew? Can you make it? Xiangyi, I can, but… Senior, you can't eat spicy food, right? Shi Sui raised his eyebrows and said, I can. Oh, then let's eat the rabbit cold. We won't be able to finish it if you make too much. I'll make a mild spicy one and a spicy one. After saying that, Xiangyi couldn't wait to go to the kitchen, but a large hand grabbed her collar. Subconsciously, Xiangyi almost wanted to throw her over her shoulder. But when she realized that it was Shi Sui, she stopped and turned around in confusion. In a split second, she met Shi Sui's deep eyes, which seemed to be smiling yet not smiling. The man's hair was all pulled back, and his eyebrows and eyes were even more prominent. He had beautiful peach blossom eyes, and his eyelashes were even longer than a girl's. When he smiled, he looked affectionate and seductive. Xiangyi tried her best not to look below his collarbone, but there was a huge difference in height between them. She could only raise her small face and bite her lip nervously. You dropped your microphone. Shi Sui's voice was gentle, almost imperceptible. His slender fingers set up the microphone for Xiangyi, and he also carefully tidied up the messy wires for her. The two of them were so close that Xiangyi could even feel the moisture on his body. It was inexplicably stuffy. She looked away and even began to avoid looking at him. Thank you. You're welcome. Then I'll go and cook. Xiangyi felt that it was more polite to look at his face when greeting him. She turned her small face, but Shi Sui had lowered his head. As she moved, her lips gently brushed against his thin and obvious collarbone. The girl's body froze. A messy and unexpected ambiguity spread. Chapter 100. Xiangyi's mind was completely silent and blank. After a full 10 seconds, she came to her senses. She took a few steps back and almost fell because she was in such a hurry. I'm sorry. The girl stammered. Although she had traveled through many worlds, she had always been someone's assistant. She had never walked the emotional line and had no experience in dealing with this kind of situation. The blush spread from her ears to her slender swan neck. I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. How did I kiss him? How can I kiss my Zai Zai? Shi Sui blinked. He leaned against the wall lazily, obviously in a relaxed and leisurely posture, but his expression was somewhat innocent. When the movie king acted as a naive and sweet person, he was more skillful and natural than a certain kitten. Xiangyi wanted to slip away and was about to escape, but she saw the man lowered his eyebrows, his eyelashes forming a faint shadow on his cold and handsome face. His voice was hoarse and tinged with grievance. You kissed me. This shouldn't be considered a kiss. The girl swallowed her saliva and said cautiously. The man acted as if he didn't hear, his clear and clean voice faintly resentful. No girl has ever kissed me. Xiangyi remembered that when he had just debuted, he had been criticized by the industry for refusing to act in emotional scenes. They said that he was not dedicated enough as an actor. Of course, Shi Sui later used his own acting skills to shut all those who questioned him. Xiangyi thought that he had never acted in emotional scenes on the screen, but he should have done it in real life. After all, he was 27 years old. It was normal for a normal man to have a few love experiences at this age. She suddenly felt a strong sense of guilt. Xiangyi stuttered for a long time, but in the end she still apologized. I'm sorry. The man raised his head and forced a smile. It's nothing. You don't have to take it to heart. It was just an accident. I'm also at fault. The more he said this, the more Xiangyi blamed herself. How could she not take it to heart? She had kissed Zai Zai's collarbone. Zai Zai didn't do anything wrong. Not at all. It's all my fault. Xiangyi had yet to realize that she had successfully fallen into the trap of a certain black and white actor. Senior, if there's anything you want to eat in the future, just tell me. I'll definitely make it for you. Shui looked down at him, her eyes gentle and innocent. Really? Is this compensation? This is what I should do. Xiangyi laughed dryly. Then I'll go cook. This time Shui didn't stop her. Instead, he stared at the girl's slender back as she entered the kitchen. Only then did the corners of his mouth curl up. It was quite interesting to play with children. In the kitchen, Xiangyi was preparing the ingredients. He sliced the fish cleanly and neatly. After removing the fish bones, the thin fish fillet glowed with a crystal clear and moist feeling. Discordant cries suddenly fell upon her ears. Where's Xiangyi? Where was she? I want to see her. Now, immediately. Xiangyi frowned slightly, wiped her hands and walked out of the kitchen. The living room was a mess at this moment. Xiaoyang was dressed in a formal suit and his hair was combed into a shiny back. He looked like he had come from a banquet. To be fair, his facial features were considered handsome. Dressed like this, he looked like a rich young master. When he saw Xiangyi, Xiaoyang, who had been babbling non-stop, suddenly shut up and stared straight at her. Why did this woman look like she had plastic surgery? She was too beautiful. Why don't I reluctantly reconcile with her? Chapter 101. Recalling the delicacies Xiangyi had made during the live broadcast, and then looking at her face that was still beautiful without makeup, Xiao Yang's heart began to waver. Bai Ruoruo heard the commotion and came out of the room. Seeing Xiao Yang looking at Xiangyi with infatuation, her heart thumped. She quickly stepped forward and grabbed his arm, calling softly, "Brother Xiao Yang?" Xiao Yang came back to his senses and coughed. "Ruoruo, I heard you were injured, so I came to see you. Brother, you're so busy, yet you still took the time to see me. Isn't it too hard?" Bai Ruoruo said gently. She knew Xiao Yang liked this the most. But today Xiao Yang didn't greet her like he usually did. Instead he looked at Xiangyi. "Come here, I have something to say to you." Xiangyi raised an eyebrow. Wasn't the money from last time enough? It would have been better if she didn't mention it. Now that she did, Xiao Yang suddenly remembered the 2 million from that day. This woman was simply humiliating him. "Who cares about your stinky money?" Xiao Yang roared. "Who the F***ck are you yelling at? Try saying another word." Xiang Yu opened his mouth as fiercely as a bandit. Xiao Yang didn't know about his relationship with Xiangyi and said with a sense of superiority, "I'm talking to my girlfriend, it's none of your business." Bai Ruoruo whispered, "It's an ex-girlfriend?" Shui, who was sitting on the sofa, narrowed her eyes slightly. Xiang Yu looked at his sister with an expression of disbelief. Even Xiangyi could guess what he was thinking. "Look at your eyes, how did you find such a thing as your boyfriend?" She was slightly embarrassed. Although this boyfriend was the one who had taken over her body, she was the one who took the blame. Sighing, Xiangyi asked, "If you have something to say, just say it." Xiao Yang, apologize to Ruoruo. Your cat bullied her and you bullied her. I'm here to support Ruoruo. Xiangyi slowly typed out a question mark. For a moment she didn't know who was more brainless, him or the one who had taken over her body. She didn't know who was the scumbag between the two. Xiangyi, who had transmigrated through countless worlds, naturally wouldn't get angry over such a trivial matter. She lazily crossed her arms and sat on the sofa, crossing her slender white legs. She lightly clicked her tongue and said, "Okay, tell me, how did I bully her?" Xiao Yang was speechless. He suddenly felt that Xiangyi's sitting posture he was a big shot. He obviously liked the delicate and innocent type, but when he saw Xiangyi's face, his heart started to beat wildly. He calmed himself down and said confidently, "Don't think that I don't know that you're just jealous that Ruoruo and I are together. That's why you deliberately targeted her. You embarrassed her in front of so many people during the live broadcast. That's equivalent to slapping my face. You have to sincerely apologize." Xiangyi propped her elbow on the armrest and held her small face with one hand. Her eyebrows were slightly curved. "What if I don't apologize?" The girl's bright smile was more dazzling than the sea of flowers outside the floor-to-ceiling window. Xiao Yang's heart was like fireworks, exploding non-stop. He swallowed his saliva and unconsciously lost his momentum. "It's fine if you don't apologize. I don't think you did it on purpose." Bai Ruoruo? She came to find Xiao Yang to settle accounts with Xiangyi. According to Xiangyi's personality in the past, she would definitely lose her temper again. She didn't know that the more she did, the more Xiao Yang hated her. But today Xiangyi was so arrogant. Why was Xiao Yang so mesmerized? Where did this woman go to sign up for a vixen training course? Chapter 102. Xiangyi couldn't help but laugh out loud. She hooked her finger at him. "Come here." The girl's smile was sweet and beautiful, and Xiao Yang's heartbeat began to accelerate again. What's going on? Is this the feeling of being in love? brother Xiaoyang? Bai Ruoruo panicked and weakly leaned against him. Xiaoyang didn't care about her at all and trotted forward to Xiangyi. Bai Ruoruo, who almost missed him, Xiaoyang cleared his throat and said condescendingly, "If you want to get back together, I can consider giving you a chance." F***Seek. Xiang Yu exploded on the spot. Who do you think you are to treat her like this? Although he didn't like this man, if his sister really liked him, he could endure it. But he dared to treat her sister badly? Endure? Endure my ass. I can't endure it. Xiangyi raised her hand and motioned for him to be quiet. She smiled at Xiaoyang. I see that you're so handsome, tall, and have a good personality. In a few words, Xiaoyang was praised to the heavens. He thought to himself, this woman must love me to death. But then he heard a sweet and gentle inquiry. Then, do you know how to kill rabbits? Do you know how to skin them? Do you know how to gut them? Xiaoyang? Xiang Yu? Bai Ruoruo? Not far away, Shi Sui seemed to understand something. Her lips hooked up. You can't even do that? Xiaoyang couldn't stand this provocation and shouted, Who said I can't? Isn't it just killing rabbits? Half an hour later, Xiaoyang was vomiting in the bathroom. Fortunately, the rabbits were killed and Xiangyi had Xiaoyang wash the meat clean. Her zodiac was Rabbit, and her nickname was Tutu. She usually didn't kill them herself, but Tutu was naturally freshly killed to taste delicious, so Xiaoyang, a tool that came to her door, was a waste not to use him. Just then the live broadcast began. Li Jinyu personally brought Old Li over to film Xiangyi cooking. He had already accepted the setting of cooking when it was time. The netizens in the live stream flooded in, and their enthusiasm was amazing. Ah, Tutu is so cute, you died so happily, cough, so pitiful. Little Vase's knife skills are amazing. How can the fish fillet be so thin? Sister E, slow down. I'll bring my bowl over first. The person in front is obviously inexperienced. Dinner, fruits and snacks have already been prepared. It's time for the mukbang. The rabbit meat was cut into small pieces so that it would be easier for the flavor to enter. After adding cooking wine, green pepper, star anise, chives, and sliced ginger to marinate, Xiangyi began to prepare another poached fish fillet. She placed the thinly sliced fish fillets into boiling water until they were half-cooked, then placed them into a soup bowl covered with a layer of cooked bean sprouts, tofu, and shredded konjac. She heated up the oil, then added pepper, chili, and other spices to fry them until they were fragrant. Finally, she poured the hot oil over the ingredients. The temperature of the oil was extremely high, and it would cook the ingredients a second time, creating a unique and spicy taste. At the same time, the rabbit meat was almost done marinating. She added a large amount of rapeseed oil and quickly stir-fried it. Then she added small pieces of dried chili and handmade chili powder, supplemented with white sugar, MSG, balsamic vinegar, and other spices to slowly reduce the flavor. When it was placed on a plate, there was even a sizzling sound. Both dishes were spicy. The chili was bright red, the fish was white, and the rabbit meat was golden yellow. It was very visually pleasing. Gulp. Li Jinyu and the others began to gulp. Xiaoyang, who was in the living room, couldn't sit still. How can it be so fragrant? I must eat 2 bowls of rice later. Chapter 103. In the kitchen. Xiangyi cooked another plate of egg-fried rice and 2 vegetarian dishes. When she was done, she poked her head out of the kitchen. The food is ready, come and serve it. Xiaoyang was the first to rush over. I'll do it, I'll do it. He quickly began to roll up his sleeves, completely forgetting the purpose of his visit. There was only one thought in his mind, eat. The comments in the stream, where did this person come from? He's a bit good-looking, but why is he so oily at such a young age? Isn't this Bai Ruoruo's boyfriend? He seems to be a rich young master from a wealthy family, so he's here to accompany Bai Ruoruo? He seems quite warm. When Xiaoyang took the initiative to serve all the dishes and everyone was about to eat, they suddenly heard Xiangyi's surprised voice. Mr. Xiao, aren't you leaving? Xiaoyang froze. The girl blinked innocently. I didn't say I wanted you to stay for dinner. Xiaoyang? And Miss Bai, tonight's dishes are high in calories and not suitable for someone like you who's on a diet. Here I've prepared your diet meal. Xiangyi slowly pushed over a plate of boiled broccoli and 2 egg whites. Bai Ruoruo? The people who hated Xiangyi in the comments were extremely excited, thinking they had caught her in the act. What kind of hospitality is this? She's already finished cooking and she's chasing her away? I can't stand you guys calling her a little vase. Is she worthy? She's just an actress who relies on her face to make a living. The vase fairy was probably the kind of person who bullied others when she was a student. Look at how much she's targeting Bai Ruoruo. She won't even let her eat, that's too much. Xiao Yang's face alternated between green and white. The aroma of the delicious dishes on the table rushed to his nose, but his heart was filled with regret. It was all his fault, he had hurt Xiangyi's heart, his eyes were filled with pain. Xiangyi, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Xiangyi called Shi Sui and Xiangyu to eat first and asked with a smile, what did you do wrong? When Xiao Yang saw her smile, his soul almost left his body. I shouldn't have cheated on you. I shouldn't have been with Bai Ruoruo and hurt your heart. Bai Ruoruo's face instantly turned pale. She grabbed Xiao Yang's arm. Brother Xiao Yang, don't joke around. Xiao Yang pushed her away and said sternly, it's all your fault. If you hadn't seduced me, would I have betrayed Xiangyi? You should sincerely apologize to Xiangyi for ruining our relationship. Xiangyi, very well, it has been confirmed that he is a brainless person. Bai Ruoruo burst into tears. This was a live broadcast. Xiao Yang's words would ruin her. In the live stream, the audience was dumbfounded. F***CK? So Xiao Yang dated the vase fairy and cheated on Bai Ruoruo? Ugh, I thought he was a nice guy, but I didn't expect him to be such a scumbag. He said such things on the live stream. Not only did he morally kidnap Xiangyi, but he also ruthlessly ruined Bai Ruoruo. Too scary. If I met a man like him, I would die from anger. On the side, Xiangyu was suddenly enraged. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? How dare you cheat on her? Xiao Yang was moved by his heartfelt confession. He looked at Xiangyi expectantly. A prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold. Baby, can you give me a chance? Xiangyu said angrily, are you worthy of calling her baby? Who do you think you are? Xiao Yang said unhappily, and who are you? He had already insulted him twice today. It was as if he had eaten a firecracker. Xiangyu slammed the table and the dishes on the table shook, splashing out bits and pieces of soup. Who am I? I'm her brother. Brother. Chapter 104. As the young esports god's voice fell, the scene fell silent, and the comments in the live stream seemed to have frozen. 1 second, 2 seconds, boom, the netizens in the live stream exploded. What the F***CK? Brother? Smog and the vase fairy are siblings. In reality, Xiao Yang was stunned for a few seconds, and his face changed faster than flipping through a book. He smiled apologetically, so it's my brother-in-law. Sorry for the disrespect. Let me toast you, brother-in-law. Brother-in-law was how Nanxing addressed his wife's brother. Xiangyu started to trash talk as soon as he heard that. Do you think you're making keys? Do you deserve it? What do you deserve? Xiangyi covered his mouth in time and said seriously, brother will be banned from the live stream if he swears. Sensing his anger, the girl coaxed softly, brother, don't pay attention to him. He's not worth your anger. The esports god, who had been fuming just now, calmed down in a second and looked at the girl in front of him in disbelief. Ah. My sister called me brother. She even called him twice. Twice. He calmed down and said in what he thought was a cold voice, tell him to get lost. Little did he know that the corners of his mouth were about to reach his ears. Xiao Yang was still thinking about the food and hurriedly said, even if we don't get back together, at least let me eat a bowl of rice. I killed the rabbit. You still want to eat my sister's cooking? You don't deserve it. Xiangyu was irritable again, and he zipped up his sweatshirt, looking like he was about to fight. Xiangyi calmly pressed on a certain acupuncture point on his arm. Xiangyu didn't know why, but he suddenly felt like he couldn't exert any strength. He looked at Xiangyi in confusion, and the girl returned him a gentle and warm smile. Brother, you're right. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve my cooking and he doesn't deserve your hands. She gestured in the direction of the garden. The next second, a few bodyguards dressed in black appeared out of nowhere and carried Xiao Yang out of the room. They did not even bother to say a single word. Xiao Yang? Hey, let go of me. I order you to let go of me, do you hear me? Xiangyi, how can you do this to me? I haven't even had a bite of rice yet. The live stream was instantly filled with laughter. This scumbag doesn't look very smart. He's still thinking about food at a time like this. Haha, this means that our sister Yi's cooking is really good. Awesome. How satisfying. You have to be quick, accurate, and ruthless when dealing with scumbags. Don't give him a chance to disgust you. She actually has bodyguards. Sorry, I underestimated the little vase's family background. Xiao Yang was thrown out of the manor. The entire world fell silent. The only person who felt like she was sitting on pins and needles was Bai Ruoruo. Her eyes were shockingly red, and her lips moved as if she wanted to say something, but not a single syllable came out. The others, on the other hand, were eating very happily. The cold-eating rabbit was crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. The oil flowed out with every bite, and the spicy taste permeated every bit of the meat. Xiangyi made 2 plates, one of which was spicy and suitable for Xiangyu. He ate until he was sweating profusely. The other plate was slightly spicy and was for sure Sui. The man slowly tasted it, his noble and handsome appearance as if he was tasting a Michelin restaurant. The boiled fish fillet was smooth and tender, and it melted in the mouth. The bean sprouts, shredded konjac and other vegetables inside were blanched in hot oil and chili, melting the freshness of the fish. With each bite of meat and vegetables, the wonderful taste slowly spread. Her taste buds felt like they would explode in the next second, constantly secreting saliva. Actually, I was also deceived by Xiaoyang. After holding it in for a long time, Bai Ruoruo finally managed to squeeze out this sentence. Xiangyi didn't even raise her eyes as she lightly said, "I won't pursue this matter. However, I checked the surveillance footage and it was you who kicked Xiao Naofu first." Bai Ruoruo's back went cold and she immediately felt extremely wronged. Didn't she just kick that stray cat? Why was she so calculative? Chapter 105. The comments section of the live stream once again went into a frenzy. Bai Ruoruo kicked Xiao Naofu? Is she crazy? I say. Xiao Naofu looks so obedient, how could it scratch someone for no reason? Why didn't the people who were shouting about euthanizing Xiao Naofu in the afternoon come out to dance? Their faces must have been smashed to smithereens. Actually, Bai Ruoruo is also. Forget it, I can't wash it off. I'm no longer a fan. A mistress abusing a cat, even if I'm retarded, I'll still be her fan. Xiangyu rubbed Xiao Naofu with heartache. Xiao Naofu was possessed by a coquettish spirit as it nestled in his arms. It doesn't hurt. Let's eat something delicious later, okay? Bai Ruoruo was extremely aggrieved as she complained, but it still scratched me. It's clearly your cat's fault, Xiangyi frowned. I think you've got the cause and effect wrong. You kicked Xiao Naofu first, which was why it acted in self-defense. Bai Ruoruo hated her to death. It was just a cat, how could it be compared to a human? Of course she could kick Xiao Naofu, but it was wrong for it to scratch her. I understand, so I'm not even as good as a cat. Bai Ruoruo was on the verge of tears. Her eyes were red as she looked at Sui. There was still a glimmer of hope in her heart. No matter what, she was still in the same company as Sui. As someone who took care of his juniors, he wouldn't leave her alone, right? The man raised his eyes and met her gaze. His eyes were like the cold moonlight on the horizon. His thin lips parted slightly as he indifferently said, "Apologize." Bai Ruoruo felt as if she had been struck by lightning. Apologize? To Xiao Naofu? That was ridiculous. It's just a cat. Bai Ruoruo had just said this when she heard Sui ask coldly, "You only kicked the cat?" That voice was wrapped in an invisible and powerful aura that enveloped Bai Ruoruo. She trembled slightly as she remembered the words she had said to Xiangyi. But didn't surveillance cameras generally not have sound capture? The next second, she heard Sui calmly say, "Little Rabbit Farm's surveillance cameras are equipped with sound capture." In other words, the cameras had sound. Bai Ruoruo's eyes widened in horror. In the live stream, oh my god, there's solid evidence? So it's not just cat abuse? Did he do anything else? He's probably scolding someone, and it's very likely that he's scolding Sister E. Otherwise, Shuringdi wouldn't be so angry. Fan of the vase fairy in front, get lost. Our Shuringdi won't look at your girl, okay? To be honest, it's so insulting to couple Miss Yang and Sui together. Sui is a true best actor, but what does Miss Yang have? The acting skills of pouting and glaring, or the singing skills of angering 10 sound reviewers to death? Bai Ruoruo knew that there was no chance of a comeback. She could only harden her heart and cut off all means of retreat. Okay, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. As she spoke, tears streamed down her face as if she had been greatly wronged. I'll go, okay? I don't want to be an eyesore to you. She paused for a few seconds, but the surroundings were silent. Something awkward happened. No one asked her to stay, including all the staff of 2 Under One Roof. Xiangyi would make afternoon tea or sugar water for everyone every day, and Xiao Naofu was so cute. They might not have as much influence as Bai Ruoruo as an artist, but they had the heart. Finally, Li Jinyu spoke. Okay, take care. We won't see you out. Bai Ruoruo left stiffly. The moment she walked out the door, she burst into tears. This time, her mentality had completely collapsed. Chapter 106. As soon as Bai Ruoruo left, the atmosphere at the dinner table suddenly became very harmonious. Xiang Yu's slender white fingers rubbed Xiao Naofu's round belly as he secretly glanced at Xiangyi. Sensing his gaze, Xiangyi blinked and asked, "What's wrong, big bro?" "Oh. Did you hear that? Little sis calls me big bro so sweetly." He pretended to be cold and arrogant like a big boss. "Go get big bro a bowl of rice." If this had happened in the Xiang family in the past, if he dared to order Xiangyi around like this, the family's sister-spoiling demons would have broken his legs. But today's Xiangyu was Nianhilu's Xiangyu. 2 words, inflated. Xiangyi smiled, indulging his childishness and willfulness as she obediently went to get him a bowl of egg-fried rice. Xiangyu couldn't suppress the corners of his mouth. After tasting a mouthful of egg-fried rice, his eyes lit up and he instantly buried his face in it. He especially liked to eat rice. Xiangyi's egg-fried rice was soft and chewy. In addition to egg, she also added shrimp, ham and peas. Not only was it rich in color, but it also had a rich texture. The live comments, "Smog is so childish, ha ha ha, but I think he's so cute." Sameo-go, a heartless eating machine. Did anyone notice that the little vase has never served Shirengdi a bowl of rice? Now that you mention it, it's true. Shirengdi has always served himself. What's with the vase fairy's attitude? Did you guys forget the hot post about the little vase snubbing Shirengdi? SHJ, Shurshui's sister, short for Shurshui's fans, are still being stubborn, but it's obvious that your Shirengdi took the initiative to stick close to the little vase. Even if the little vase wasn't cold to him, she was still very polite and distant, okay? The netizens each brought their own magnifying glasses, and some even seemed to have brought a microscope. Soon, a post on the well-known gossip forum Melon went viral. Title: "Every day I find candy in the glass shards of the untimely CP CAC." Main post content: "Greetings, Melon friends. I'm the OP of the previous post, taking stock of the famous scenes where Shirengdi was neglected. After watching the live broadcast of Two Under One Roof for 2 days, she had replayed countless clips of Shirengdi and Sister E in the same frame. To be honest, the two of them were too evasive. They were so polite that it was as if they were in an etiquette class. They were constantly saying thank you for your hard work. Sister E had been calling Shirengdi senior, up until now. The more polite she was, the more it meant that there wasn't much progress in their relationship. It was even possible that they were just being polite on the surface for participating in the show. But the sugar in the glass shards was really sweet. Sister E gave Shirengdi a little flour. Shirengdi put on glasses for Sister E. The scene of the two of them cooking together in the kitchen, living a peaceful life. There was also Sister E on the swing. His gentle gaze beside her could make me kowtow 100 times. I recommend watching it repeatedly. Just now, for Sister E, he tore the little white flower apart. Okay, it's an exaggeration to say that he tore it apart, but he did speak up for Sister E. I don't care, I'm just protecting Sister E. As a CP fan, I don't ask for anything else. I just want Sister E and Shirengdi to be a little bit better. Online beautiful. JPG. As soon as the post was posted, it attracted the dissatisfaction of Shurshui's sisters. OP, have you watched too many idol dramas? What's wrong with a lovey-dovey person like you? Haha, the OP might as well say that Shurshui is licking the vase fairy's boots. You must have received a lot of PR fees, right? He's hopeless. Take him away. Next. I'll say it again, it's impossible between Shurshui and the vase fairy. Chapter 107. At the same time, another OP had also posted a post. Title: I'm shocked. When I was writing a paper, I found an SCI paper by a certain female celebrity. The main post: OP is a graduate student in agriculture majoring in resource utilization and plant protection. Recently, I've been going bald over my thesis every day. This afternoon, I found an amazing article. Firstly, it's really well written, and secondly, it has great reference value for my thesis. At that time, my roommate happened to be watching Two Under One Roof to relieve stress and overheard Xiangyi's speech about how agriculture is the foundation of the country and agriculture is the priority. At that time, I thought that the celebrities in the entertainment industry were quite good. Then, I accidentally saw that the name of the paper was also Xiangyi. At that time, I thought that it might be someone else with the same name. Then, I looked at the school, which was one of the top 2 universities in the country. Out of curiosity, I couldn't help but check it out. Now the case has finally been solved. That's right, the paper was really written by that female celebrity, Xiangyi. I also found the topics she worked on during her undergraduate studies. How should I put it? She's at a level that I can't reach. Perhaps many people don't know much about SCI papers, but I'll give you the most common example. Publishing an article is no less significant than winning a gold medal in an international sports competition. The OP is in a trance now. Female celebrities in the entertainment industry are so amazing these days. I feel like I don't deserve to be in the scientific research field anymore. Underscore smiley faced, angle. Underscore the first few dozen replies to the post were all question marks. Are you kidding me? You're telling me that Vase Fairy can publish an SCI paper? I'm dying of laughter. You're just bragging, aren't you? If you're so amazing, why did you enter the entertainment industry? The OP didn't debate with the netizens. Instead, he posted a link to the paper. The netizens opened the link to see that it was an all-English website. The terminology used in the article was very professional, but the name of the paper, it was really Xiangyi. The Melon forum was in an uproar and countless posts popped up like mushrooms after a rain. The sensation level was even greater than that of a certain popular male idol's official relationship announcement not long ago. At the Xiang family's manor. The live broadcast was still ongoing. When they were almost done eating, Xiangyi got up and was about to wash the dishes when she heard a yell from the ground. Put it down? The girl shuddered in shock. Ahem. Xiang Yu cleared his throat uncomfortably. Sit here obediently. We don't have the rule of letting girls do the dishes. Xiangyi's heart slightly moved. She vaguely felt that her brother's attitude towards her had changed. Was he finally willing to accept her again? The girl stared at Xiang Yu in a daze, her eyes hazy with a trace of moisture. She was not a weak person. On the contrary, when she was about to cross worlds to complete her mission, she was very strong and determined. But perhaps everyone had a soft spot in their hearts. That was a person's weak spot and also a person's reverse scale. Family was Xiangyi's biggest weakness. Because she had been treated with gentleness and love, she was able to persevere through countless times of despair. She moved her face away and said in a nasal voice, "Brother, you're so nice." Xiang Yu was overjoyed by the compliment and whistled as he went to wash the dishes. The trolls appeared again. I can't stand it, the Vase Fairy is so lazy. There are so many bowls and you're letting your brother do it alone? Can an esports player do something as menial as washing the dishes? She's too delicate. Isn't it just washing a few bowls? What's wrong with girls doing more work? She doesn't know how to be considerate at all.